Good evening,
Good,
Andrea Rawson. How are you?
good morning, Brian Peterson. I am well. Great to see your face.
Good to see you too. Am I in focus? I just got everything kind of dialed in a moments ago. Just it's morning here. It's early morning. It's kind of like I gotta wake up. I gotta make coffee. I gotta just talk. I'm like I'm barely gonna get there. Ridiculous is coming up.
You look good. You're clear. You're in focus, and your voice sounds nice. Let's see your coffee. Let's see your mug today.
You know what? I actually this is what I have to do sometimes. Oh, this is a trick. You'll appreciate this.
Okay, I love a trick.
Uh, it's not a trick, but do you remember when we used to like the coffee at the diner in the old diner days when you like left when you turn the coffee off at the end of the day? What'd you do with the coffee at the end of the day?
You put it over ice for iced coffee in the ice
Iced coffee,
bucket. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so when the coffee cooled down, somehow Freddie and I were of the mindset that it tasted infinitely better when it was just not as hot. It had so much more flavor to it. It was very obvious.
Okay.
So we kind of preferred the iced coffee or the cold coffee or the the cooled down coffee more than the piping hot coffee, and that kicked me off on a trend, I guess, like a lifetime of drinking cooled down coffee. I make a pot of coffee. I turn it off. I wait till it like cools down, and I drink either cold or lukewarm coffee all day long. And I have leftover coffee sometimes from the day before that I drink. Is that disgusting? Do you do that?
No,
Does everybody do
no.
that?
I use a French press for my coffee, and I'm just one person now, particularly because my son went back to college.
Oh
Oh,
my God.
but
Back?
yeah, it's his second year.
Oh my
So my
God.
point, though, he doesn't drink
Jesus.
coffee. I'll make the French press. It's pretty big. It's whatever. And on the weekends, I'll just sort of drink lukewarm to cold coffee all through the day, and I try not, well, I don't know. I'm inclined to coffee. I love it. But when I'm in work mode, I'll maybe just have a cup and then I'll take the rest and make it ice for the next day. So I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you. But I do like a nice hot cup of Joe.
Yeah, I
Not
don't.
steaming though. I'm a cream kind of person.
Me too. Me
Cream
too.
and sugar. Cream
Yeah.
and sugar.
Not sugar, but cream. I can't. You can handle the sugar. I can't.
Sure can.
Well, I was gonna say it's just so nice to see you, and it's such a. I mean,
Same.
and I wanted to kind of like vocalize just something like we are off tour right now. We are not in Phish mode technically. I mean, we're never not in Phish mode, but it's like it's technically downtime, if you will.
I think we've
And
got 22 days until we pick up the mantle.
it's kind of a long ways away. It seems like it seems very far away. It always seems like this was a weird summer because they did this weird giant gap. It's not. I don't feel like it's normally this big of a gap, right?
It
Is
would
it?
usually be next weekend we were heading to Dick's, so the gap would not feel so big.
Okay.
But there's no Dick's this year, which for me is very strange because when Dick's starts, especially with the 4 days over the last few years, it's summer. And when Phish ends on that Sunday, it's fall. And it is this 13-year orienting ritual, with the exception of COVID year. And it's so weird not to have it. Like I'm playing a gig next Saturday. I should be at a Phish show. It's
Right.
strange.
Well, I want to kick off the show officially, but I want to also say that, like, I don't know if you said you're like, oh, I think both of us kind of had this like Indian summer, like, should we really do this or not? But and
Here we
that's just
are.
to say, like, Phish comes in waves. It comes in waves throughout the year, and sometimes it's like a thing that you're really all about, like everything. It's your entire universe, and other
Yep.
times it's like,
Yep.
no, I'm not at all interested, and I'm a little bit, just a tiny bit, not at all interested at this very, very moment. But I'm not going to miss the excuse to hang out with you, so
Aw,
that's why I
that's
wanted to just
sweet.
come on. So speaking of you, this is my friend Andrea, and this is the Read Icculus podcast. This is season 2, technically episode 2. This is our 12th go at it, where we get online. Andrea, you want to explain what Read Icculus is?
Well, if you don't know, Brian, there's only one thing that they should do. And what is that?
You gotta read the fucking book.
Read
That's
the
very
fucking book,
simple.
friends. I mean, we can only guide you,
To the
but
book.
you are the one that must crack it open, sniff it up, especially if it's old, which we're getting older. Our children are old enough. So just read the book. I mean, what we're here to do is to, and we'll see if we do it today, find a great article about Phish, maybe something about tour, maybe something about design, something related. And then, as is our wont, we will digress circuitously as we attempt to read something. And maybe you'll like it, and maybe you're just here for the guffaws, or maybe you're here because you have no idea what Phish is, but you follow Brian because he is Tokyo Record style. And maybe we'll turn you on to something new. If nothing else, our small but mighty podcast is enjoyable for the two of us.
Very much so. We're the two of us are old pals from the Boulder days. Andrea's from East Coast. I'm from middle of nowhere, and well, Tulsa is not the middle of nowhere. I take that back. But we both
The
met each
center
other.
of the universe, I
It
do
really
believe,
is.
Brian.
It is. It is. And we spent a decade hanging out as pals in Boulder, some 22 decades ago. So it's been a great
22
excuse.
decades? God, we look
Two
really
decades
good.
ago. 2
We
decades
look
ago.
good for 270 years old or whatever we
Oh,
might
I
be.
just saw like a turtle. There's the longest living. There's a turtle, a documented turtle that was photographed in like 1850.
I've seen
And
that.
right,
Yeah.
he's still
Yeah.
living. It's the same turtle.
What the
He's
heck?
like approaching 200 years old. Yeah.
Turtles touching turtles.
Oh, nice,
Clear your
nice.
mind. Clear your mind.
Turtles. How did that? Yeah. Okay.
Some
Well,
kind of complicated math thing, I think.
yeah. Icculus. I want to just touch on Icculus. Okay, so you got to read the book, right? It's written by the great and knowledgeable Icculus.
It is.
And you got to get hip to Icculus.
Dude,
And
you gave up his name really fast, I gotta say.
no, but he's just the great and knowledgeable.
Yes,
And that's
indeed.
all the more reason to read it. And you will forget it. Only those true game henders will know what I'm talking about. Speaking of people who are hanging out, we got James Farley in the house with a shout out. What's up, Andrea and Brian?
Hi, James.
James pops in quite frequently, and Spud Dowdery is here. Not interested in Phish. Come on, bro.
Yes,
I
bud.
know.
That's what we're talking about.
Well, it comes and goes. I mean, that's the honest truth, and I think that's a good thing. Actually, it's like, I was trying to explain this. It's really obvious and easy to explain, but I mean, I don't know, just like a couple of examples how Phish has informed your musical taste, Andrea. Like what have been a couple of things that have come along that have been like, oh, there's a whole new world of people or a whole new world of music that I would never have discovered. King Sunny Ade would have been one for me. Like King Sunny Ade gets mentioned by Trey as like the show that like blew his mind, and when you hear Bouncing Around the Room, and when you hear a couple of like moment, or what would it be, like Gotta Jaboo, you hear that. Yeah, King Sunny Ade would be just one tiny one. What would be one for you?
In the same vein, I'm sure that Trey in multiple interviews has mentioned Sun Ra. And I would say Sun Ra might be something that I'm still getting hip to, but definitely because Trey had mentioned it. Though out avant-garde jazz, maybe that came through like the Motet and Dave a little bit too. But Space is the Place. I just popped up a little Instagram picture, and that was my narrative song to go with the photograph. And I was like, oh, Sun Ra, yeah, this is like some Trey love. This is hip stuff. So I might cite that.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go from like Afrobeat to free jazz, spiritual jazz to, I mean, they didn't turn me on to the Beastie. They've covered the. I'm just like looking at my record collection. I mean, Little Feat is kind of one. Like I came to Little Feat by way of Zappa, I would say maybe, but certainly when they covered Waiting for Columbus, that record was not on my radar like it was when Phish played it, until Phish played it. So that would be another one. There's just so many. There's so many.
Waiting for Columbus, I think, happens in Atlantic City.
Okay, you know better than me.
And it's post breakup. It was that year where everybody was trying to figure out what are they going to play, which we always do on Halloween. And there was like an album thing, and they kept taking albums off the map or something. There was some kind of internet sensationalism going on with Waiting for Columbus, and I don't think anybody had any sense of it whatsoever.
Right.
The night before, they played some Zeppelin. That's one of the few shows I've been like, God damn it, why wasn't I there? Waiting for Columbus. I mean, love. My band plays a Little Feat song, I think, off that album, actually. But, not one of my tops, but I was sad to miss the Zeppelin the night
just
before.
like a whole, I mean, Lowell George is such a musical visionary.
Yes,
and
yes.
When you can't love all the music that you love without at least knowing that it came from a lot of it came from there. And I was trying to explain that, like, the hallway of infinite doors, that's kind of the way that Phish is. And without, like, when I'm not locked and loaded into Phish, I'm in the hallway of infinite doors, and it's not always them that's guiding me to music, but it's like, when it gets to be tour time, I don't want to, I just, like, I'm locked in and I'm listening, and I can't venture that far off of the path, there's just not enough time. Simply that it's simply a matter of that. But on these kind of like between season times, I get a lot of musical appreciation, and it, I don't know, certainly help. I just listened to a Donny Hathaway record and an Alice Coltrane record sort of back to back, and I just was like,
jealous guy into Afro harping.
What? Say that one more time.
Were the albums Jealous Guy live into Afro harping? No,
it was Everything is Everything into Journey to Swami something or other, Stenwanananda or something. I don't remember what it was. Stitch Nanananda. I don't know what it was. Nanananda. Yeah, it was, but actually it was a really interesting story because, like, for the journey into Stitch, God, I'm embarrassed. I should know what it is. It was a ode. It was an Alice Coltrane ode to Swami Guru dude from India who she studied under, and he was the guy who opened Woodstock, or one of the guys who opened Woodstock.
I was not Afro harping. That's not Alice Coltrane, I don't think. You're what is it? Something Love. Alice Coltrane.
I haven't really gone down a very big Alice Coltrane. I've listened to that specific record once before, or a couple times before, but I don't really know the discography. And it was so easy to listen to, and it was like so unexpected. I think it had harmonica on it. It was like sitar and harp and harmonica.
Yes,
I was like, what the hell is going on here? It was really, really interesting.
So I misspoke. So that Alice Coltrane album that I was talking about is Love Supreme. And then Afro harping is
Love Supreme is John Coltrane.
No, it's also Alice. It's they have the same name album but different, but it's with the Swami guy.
Okay.
Love. But then the Afro harping is I was thinking of Dorothy Ashby, who is this really cool, maybe 1967, 68 it sounds like, by the sound of the recording, artist who is just so groovy. She's
playing the harp
jams too. Yeah I wonder if she played on Alice Coltrane's album though.
Double harp?
I don't know. That's a great question. Love Supreme.
That would be pretty cool, man. I've been actually There's some
Yeah, all
amazing.
love
She's from
Supreme.
this era where the photographs are just like they're of a different caliber.
Oh yes, yes. It
I'm
almost
looking at these.
looks
I'll just pull her
like,
up. Hold on, why not? Let's
yeah,
just
a
pull her up.
Love
She's so
Supreme
lovely.
album art. I wonder if it's Peter Max. It looks like that super psychedelic style of his. I think it is Peter Max, I could tell. So gorgeous. But I'm curious now, who played on A Love Supreme?
I want to see the big
1965.
version of this.
That's John. No, we want Love Supreme Alice. Alice, love.
The harp is such an amazing instrument. Oh, speaking of the harp, actually, I watched an amazing video this week of a guy. It's called the Alexander piano. Do you know about the
Oh,
Alexander piano?
no, I don't know anything about it.
Alexander piano is well, I'm not going to be able to find it right this second, but it's this like student of like this high school student asked his teacher, they were talking about like the frequency of strings and how and about how to achieve like I might be getting this completely wrong, but how, the way you achieve like really low frequencies on really short strings is to wind them. You have to wind them with copper or wind copper or whatever. Yeah, they have to be wound,
Oh,
right? So if you want to reach, I don't know what are the like 20 hertz or whatever you're trying to get on a bass string, you can't just do it with a single like an high E string or whatever. It has to be wound.
okay.
And the student asked his teacher like, how could you achieve that same tone without it being wound? And the teacher said, well, you'd have to have a really long string.
Yeah, yeah.
And so pianos.
Oh, I know about this. This is like that 15-foot long piano
Yes,
where the
yes.
strings are both wound and they're
I don't think they're
so
wound.
fucking long.
Yeah, there's like it's a 15-foot or
Yes,
more. I think it's like
yes.
30-foot piano. Yeah,
It's
called the
cuckoo crazy. Yeah.
it's called the Alexander piano. And I listened to like a concert with
Interesting.
it yesterday, and it's so pretty. It's so pretty, and it's still, he just made a second one. And it's like an improvement on the first, and
Wild.
he's posting just as frequent as recently as 2 weeks ago. So if you're curious for some interesting musical inspiration, but I was thinking about like the reason that the piano has to have that enormous sort of harp like metal structure inside it is because the tension on those wound strings has to be so taut that it needs that metal frame in there. But I think you could essentially build the Alexander piano without necessarily needing one of these like machined frames, because you don't have the tension that because the strings aren't so tight or wound or whatever. So anyway, when I saw the harp, whenever I see a harp, I always see the inside of a piano, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of similar, turned sideways.
Right.
I used to play with a wonderful woman in my band before she moved away named Anella Lauren. And she's a wonderful harpist and very psychedelic gal. She plays in a band called Fragile Thunder with David Gans from the Grateful Dead Hour. Remember, he had the radio program? He probably still does. But she plays harp, and she plays all this wonderful Grateful Dead on the harp. She has an album called Harping on the Dead, and it is so gorgeous. And so she had the baby harp, and then she had the big harp, Guinevere. I forgot the baby harp's name, but it was always so fun playing with her. But there are certain chords, because the harp actually has this little flippity thing and in certain songs, if you're in a
You can
particular
modulate
chord, you
chromatic.
can, but then there's some stuff
Interesting.
that's like, she would be like, nah, I don't want to play it in that key because it's too much flip-flopping and I can't just like jam and like get my groove on. But
I remember
really
there's
wonderful.
little red marks. I've played a couple. You played the
Yeah,
harp
yeah,
before?
there's red, yellow. No, I haven't. I mean, I have a dance move that's kind of new that it came up this summer at Folsom Field. And it's a dance move. I'll go sideways that sort of has this tension, and then it sort of coalesces in a cuddle.
Oh my god.
I know. So Well, I love the sound of the harp, and I have
Mm.
such a vibrant imagination. My imaginary both guitar and harp solos are like happening all the time. No, I haven't played around except for in my mind
I
and
the,
in my dance moves.
there it's a really beautifully, and it's actually less complicated slightly than you can pick out a C chord rather quickly, you know.
Yeah.
And you can see the black and white keys essentially. I mean, you're like, oh, it's
Yes.
two
Yeah.
three two
Yeah.
two three. You can make it out rather easily. But that chromatic, that flippity flippity is I didn't even know that was on there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like lugging around a harp? That would be insane.
People do it. People do it. How about this
Crazy.
woman? I just started following her on Instagram, Brandy Younger,
The piano.
and she is a modern harpist. She
Oh,
lives in Harlem, Brooklyn, maybe Harlem,
Brandy,
but
what? One more time. Brandy Hart
Younger,
Younger. Okay.
Younger, and she is such a badass. I think she just did a project maybe with Solange Knowles in New
Interesting.
York, and a
Cool.
modern
Cool.
dance thing. But she's quite lovely, and you might enjoy listening to her if you're feeling kind of
I was
harpish.
feeling it. I was feeling that. I was like, "Oh, this needs to be in my life. This is not in my." It like triggered something in the back of the throat. You know, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, "Whoa, I didn't know this
What did
feeling.
they
I only have had this
do?
experience a couple of times."
So
Let
I can I just say one more thing
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Brandy
Please,
Younger,
please, please.
because
Yeah.
she and Desron Douglas had put out an album.
Who plays with Trey Band?
Who
Desron
plays with
Douglas.
Trey Band.
Mhm.
Oh look, she's coming to Denver at the end of October. But they put out this duo album that they had clearly made in the pandemic,
Cool. I
and
want to
they
hear that.
have, oh my god, they do a cover of Sing a Song, Sing
Okay.
Out Loud, Sing Out
Make it
Strong.
clear.
Yes, to last your
Cool.
whole life long. It's so good, and the way that she picks through the melody is really interesting, so it's worth a go if you want to check out harp, if you want to hear Dez just killing it on his bass. And it's just, and if you have like kind of feelings about being a kid and knowing that song, and maybe you sang it in like choir or something like that. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
so interesting. Her band is really slamming.
She's
I th-
groovy looking for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they did maybe an NPR Tiny Desk that's out there. That's worth a
Cool.
listen.
Okay, I'm putting her on
Yeah.
my. This is the kind of like, yeah. This is we got led here via Phish, sort of. You
The
know,
what did you call it? The Infinite Hall of
the hallway of
Doorways?
infinite doors. Yeah.
Hallway of Infinite Doors. This very Aldous Huxley sort of doors of perception.
Desron Douglas, who you mentioned, we so sadly lost Tony Marcalis, who was the Trey Anastasio band lead singer. Just in case you don't know Trey, who's our kind of primary songwriter and frontman for Phish. He had his Trey Anastasio band, much like Jerry had Jerry band, and his long time bass player was Tony Marcalis, who played very differently than Mike Gordon, who is the primary or who is the bass player in Phish, and where Mike sort of has this and counterpoint to the tunes of all the Phish tunes and who's dancing around the neck like Phil Lesh might have. Tony Marcalis was very much a groove oriented dude who was just just the pocket.
Yes.
He was the pocket that everybody else was in.
Yeah.
And he was
Big
one of these guys,
pocket, big boy
big pocket,
pocket.
very big boy, kind of like a John Popper-ish type of.
Before the gastronomy surgery, yes.
Right. And unfortunately, I think he was a casualty of COVID
I think he was.
and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I didn't know if he was going to, if like was going to happen to Trey Band, because he kind of is like, without Tony Marcalis, you almost don't have Trey Band. I mean, his
Yeah,
signature is so
Tony,
strong.
Trey, and Russ from the get-go. I mean, as young men in Burlington, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
Though I think Tony lived in Albany and he would come up.
I'm going to get to these comments here in a second, but the funny thing that I just want to touch on lastly about the Desron comment is that luckily we got Trey recruited an amazing bass player about 3 or 4 years ago, and there was a big shoes to fill in that spot, and Desron Douglas came in, and we all love him, and he's so cool, and he's just so funky. He looks so. Did you see? We should talk about the shows. He looks so cool, and he's like he had like. I forget what he had on, but he had like a beanie. He was just like the coolest looking dude on stage. They all looked great, but Desron had just something extra special. He had some like pink sunglasses on or something. He had like some flair that
He
made it
had
look.
some flair going. I think somebody gave him a vintage Dead shirt.
Oh, that's
And
what it was.
I think that's what it was. And he's rocking this great. I think I had that t-shirt. I cut open the seams along the sides and opened it up and hung it over my bed like a ceiling tapestry, maybe the same one.
Hippie.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Carrie Colsey was mad because she's like, bitch, you cut up my shirt. Sorry, Care. But,
that reminds me, my friend Rob Brown, who might be watching this, he's the sweetest kid who I grew up with. I mean, I've known him since he was like 4 years old, maybe. He told me.
It's like the Colseys.
Did I mention this? Maybe.
No, I don't think so.
He told me, he was like, dude, I have something that's been weighing on my heart for like 20 years. I stole one of your Dead shirts back in the day, or you left it at our house and I knew it was yours, and I just
cut up the seams and hung it up, because that's what I did to Carrie's. This is why we were friends all these many years.
That's funny. But the last thing about Desron,
what is a Dead shirt between friends in the
yeah,
end? It is the
they
spirit.
Come and they go. Although they're worth a fortune now.
Are they really? Everything is worth a fucking fortune.
It's true. But those Dead shirts, I mean, like a small fortune, like $1,000.
What? Shut up.
Yes. These t-shirts that you definitely had.
Oh,
we both definitely had. Yeah. If you still have them and they're in decent condition, they go for like $500 to $1,000.
I'm hoping at some point someone is going to want my old school Levi's from tour in the 90s. I kept them all. I have like a hippie Levi museum in my garage.
Really?
I sure do. And it would be hard to get rid of them because I hand stitched everything.
Wow.
But so
those patchwork
old school.
girls with the Levi's, they were so hot.
Yeah. I still like love a pair of 90s Levi's with the little orange tab.
I want to get to
they're old.
I got a question for you about another thing, but hold on. Desron Douglas. Hold on, Desron. I just got to say he didn't when he got recruited by Trey. Do you know the story? Like he didn't even know who Trey was. He had to call his like other like jazz buddy. He was like, I got this guy called Trey Anastasio who's calling me to join his band. I have no idea who he is. And his friend is like, what?
I don't know the Desron story, but I do know that James Casey did the same thing.
It might have been James Casey.
It might have been James.
I'm conflating those two
stories. He called oh God, what's his name? Fuck.
That's the story. It's James
the guy
Casey.
from Lettuce. He called the Lettuce dude.
Okay, they set him straight.
Yeah, and they were like, fucking call that dude right back right now.
Can I ask you one quick question? I want to get back to the comments here. I want to just one quick question. Did I give you all of my CDs at one point?
I'm going to say no, you did not. I would recall that a lot of the CDs that I have left were either mine or Dave's. I have a lot of old jazz, and the only tapes I have are Dave's.
Where did my CDs go? Because I was looking.
Did you give them to Stacy?
I don't know where they went, but I burned them all to disc, and then I got rid of them. And I was just, when we were talking about Dead shirts being really expensive, I was looking for a Ween's first record, which I certainly had, and now Ween CDs. Ween CDs are also going for hundreds of dollars each. They've been out of print for a long time.
They went on tour and they lasted like 4 shows.
They're coming and going.
No, I don't think they're coming back.
That's okay.
Speaking of Ween, I'm going to see the bass player tomorrow night play with J-Rad up in Dillon. Dave Drywitz.
Rodemaker.
Dave Drywitz.
No, J-Rad. I'm saying Johnny Rodemaker.
Oh, yes, but no, Joe Russo's almost dead. Remember Fat Mama?
Sure.
It's like they all grew up and now they play dead music at Red Rocks with the bass player from Ween.
I gotta. Sorry to just be going all over the place, but my
That's
cousin
okay.
just played Red Rocks. My
Did you
cousin.
tell me that?
No,
He
I told you
plays
that
with.
he played with Bruce Springsteen.
Yes, you did.
And now
Wait,
the
who?
same cousin is playing Red Rocks, and I don't know if they're headlining or if they're
What's the
supporting.
band called?
It's called King Cabbage Brass Band.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right. I wonder, do you think they're opening for somebody?
probably, I would assume so. They're like the greatest support band of all time. They're the greatest
I wonder
opening
if
act.
they're opening for John Batiste. He's playing with the symphony next week.
That would be so cool. I can't believe it if that's what he's. I'm so proud of him. He's so
That's
cool.
cool. Maybe we'll do a little search on him in a bit.
Okay, let's get some
Let's do some
comments.
comments. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
hold on.
about my
Sorry,
finger,
guys.
but I like to read them along.
Spuds, who was like, "You're not interested in Phish? What the hell?" He's got a long one here. He says, "Watch my girls' first show last night, Raleigh, 2018." Ooh, Raleigh's always like a good. That's like a good middle of sort of nowhere place to see a Phish show. I would think, like
I
Raleigh.
haven't been there. No.
I've never been there either,
Yeah,
but it's like
no.
that's the reason that it's cool. Is because nobody's been there, and you have to be
It's
kind of
fun.
from,
Yeah, yeah. You're
right,
either from or you're visiting for the first or second time
right.
because Phish came back.
But probably
Trey
people.
got hit in the teeth by a locust.
Ooh, yeah, that's not fun. Okay,
That's
set off a lot of
super
banter from the
random.
band. Okay, what a great show. The teeth, was it that hot? Was it like did he like chip a tooth or something?
The locust.
The
I mean,
locusts, the
good
cicadas, they
lord.
get big here. They're a little terrifying. Although the kids
Where in
have like a
Japan, you
culture.
mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You can deep fry them and just boop, eat them like a
I'm
little.
sure they're like heaps. Yeah.
I bet
Why'd
they're
you bring that
good.
up?
Crunchy.
Why did you say that?
What, that you can eat them?
Yeah.
Because you can. It's high protein. And I like things with shells on them. Like they
Oh, I'm the
used to
opposite.
have. Oh,
The
I'm so.
skeleton on the outside.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
into like crunching on a deep fried exoskeleton. I feel like I would enjoy locusts if they were seasoned well.
I'm
Uh,
sure. Yeah.
but even like in our
I like a fish
sushi,
head. I like a crispy fish head. That's about, but like
okay, yeah, they deep fry the bones and then you just chomp on that. I love that.
locust.
Soft shell crab is like that. I love a soft shell crab.
What about a tarantula? Would you eat a tarantula?
I mean, theoretically, yes.
You love crabs. You love crab and lobster. Oh no, you don't.
No, I do.
Oh,
I love crabs, all that stuff. I'm here for crustaceans, mollusks,
but aren't you
all of the
Hebrews
things.
not meant to eat those?
I
Right?
don't
Aren't those?
know. No shellfish. Whatever. I'm like the worst Jew you ever met. I'm so bad. I didn't even circumcise my son. I mean, like, that's how bad I am.
Don't disclose that on the internet,
I'm
and
just
that's
saying.
something that you don't need to disclose.
It's just an example of my poor Jewish traditionalism.
Okay. Well, yeah, locust. Maybe I give it a shot. Maybe we'll someday, and we'll have a locust.
I'm
meal.
coming to Japan. You can take me out for the craziest out
sure.
shit, and we'll see what I eat.
You'll find what is it like?
Puffer fish?
Salamanders.
Oh.
They cook salamanders here, and they're intensely pungent, and they have you can gag on them, but they swear they're like delicacies.
I'm up for weird shit. You know that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
You know who else was up for weird shit guy? Is Mike Hamill. He was he was the weirdest
I buy that.
eating food.
Wait, hold on, go back. We didn't read that.
Sorry.
What did Spud say?
I wore out my Waiting for Columbus CD. It wasn't even round anymore. Oh, I like that.
That part's funny. I like that. All right. Thanks, Spud, for giving us the deets. That is a great album, says Gary. Which album? We talked about 6 different albums.
No, he's talking about Waiting for Columbus. I'm sure. No, the Alice Coltrane one. I'm stand corrected here.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Journey to
so
Stitch.
Oh, yes, I saw that come out with Yogananda da 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 di da. No.
Okay. Let's see.
4D.
Fred Putterman, who I don't know. 4D's in the house. What's up, 4D? Nice to have you here. Fred, who is he's a well-known character in the YouTube world who was before my time, is big on John Coltrane. I only like his early period, just like Miles Davis. As soon as those guys get past 1960, I dared 4D to go a whole stream without saying 1960, and he couldn't do it.
No, did you really? Was this
Yes,
like private messaging before?
yes, it's an inside joke.
That's funny.
I'm done with that. Okay,
He
good one,
must like
4D.
something from the 70s. Share your thoughts when it's appropriate,
Early
4D.
70s,
We miss
possibly.
you. All right. What else we got, Bri? Gary.
4D. Okay.
Oh, look at
There's
the
a great
love
Harpo
in your
Marx.
thread.
What's that?
Look at the love in your thread. I like
I know they get
the
chatty
people,
with each other.
That's
Yeah.
nice. I think it's cool. It shows that you're creating not just like a culture where people come together, but also a subculture friendship. I think
Well,
it's
that's not unique to me, but I appreciate that. I think
well,
everybody
whatever.
knows. Yeah. No.
You're probably the people that chit chat are unique to you on your threads, not
Yeah,
the chit
sure.
chat in general.
There's a great Harpo Marx scene about exactly that,
Oh,
turning the
wow.
inside of a piano into a harp. Oh, that's funny. Okay.
It
In Night at
always
the
gets
Opera.
me tearful every damn time.
Okay, I gotta go see that.
Okay. Gary.
Okay, what's Gary say? Are there heaps of? Okay, we should get through these go-go.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
do it.
they're saying hey to each other. I haven't played around except in my mind and my dance moves. Andrea's on screen. Okay, he's quoting you.
I know, it's cute. I say these things. The pinball.
Pinball. What's the pinball?
Oh, okay.
What is it? Maybe this one is the paddle.
No, you shake your hips and pretend to be playing a pin. Oh, you do. You
It's
got
the pinball machine.
Well, yeah. I mean, are you really using your whole hands? I got to play some pinball and like. Do you ever like wind up? Is like the wind up and the release part of it?
Oh, that reminds me, Anne. I met.
Stack it up, wind it up.
We were like, I suppose this is like the product of not. Somebody had said to me in a comment, the sexual tension between you and me is palpable on screen. Somebody said that in a comment. Yeah, did you read that? You didn't read that?
No, I haven't read that.
Okay, well, for the record. I love Anne, and Anne, you're definitely a lovely.
I love you, but we have never had a love affair.
We've never had a vibe, really. In fact, we've had probably more.
Like
then,
I want to punch you in the face, or like, why is your mother calling me at 10 at night, concerned or something? We're family.
Yeah, it's a family thing, and in as much, Andrea and I, bizarrely, our exes. Have actually the same relationship that you and I have.
Yeah, they're besties. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very weird. And it's like a weird ABBA sort of dynamic, the four of us. At any rate.
Yeah, we're not.
Although I think those two were the ABBA, they were actually married. Some of them were married. But anyway,
we're not Fleetwood Mac. We're more ABBA. Yeah.
So, but what I wanted to say is that I met these Argentinians the other day. And somebody, 4D, I think it was, shouted out, ask him to do some tango. And you and I used to get rather crazy on the dance floor together. And we used to swing each other and twirl each other around quite a lot. And we could actually gather a little crowd watching us pretzel around and spin each other around a little bit, right?
I think we did. You know how to dance. Dance my whole life. I'm a good follow if you're a strong lead.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of moves. I'm pretty sure we did, Bri.
We did. And I remember, do you remember Steve? You probably don't remember Homeboy.
Steve Homeboy.
There was a tango world in Boulder.
There was.
And there was an annual tango festival or a semi-annual tango festival. And I went and would go watch tango. I would go like unsolicited to go watch tango. I was so interested in it. And it was so beautiful.
Yes.
Oh man, I really would love to learn to tango.
You should. It is a skill worth having. I'll just have a quick story. I took a lot of dance class in college. I studied religion and dance in my master's, and I had a wonderful professor who would have the dude who was like the head of the tango Boulder world. He would come in and teach lessons in one of the gyms at CU. And one time I was taking class and I was like, can I dance with you? Or he's like, I need a partner. And I was like, me. and I just closed my eyes, because if I thought about it too much or my eyes were open, my body couldn't listen to what his lead was telling me. Still the best dance of my whole life, being led by this like
Wow.
master teacher, and
Okay.
just, like long exhale, sort of just be moved. It was amazing. It's a highlight of my dance life.
The thing I remember most about the
Outside of the new
tango,
heart
what
dance
outside
move.
of our dancing, what about me? What am I, chopped liver over here? Come on, didn't I give you a
No,
couple
no,
memorable?
outside of a step kick. We used to do the 80s kid and play
Oh
with the
yeah,
step back and the hit and the back
I
and
forgot
the
about
hit.
that. Charleston, yeah.
Yeah, a sort of slow 80s kid and play Charleston.
Yeah. Love the kid and play
No,
moves.
nothing compares to that. But the tango was better, Brian. Just
Yeah, the
saying.
tango, it's like the thing I didn't know about tango is that it has this spectrum of intensity. There's this sort of sweet and slow, even, and subdued, and there's the like sort of Fred Astaire, kid and play, like that, and it's like this comedy sort of thing, this drunk kung fu ninja sort of thing. And then there's also the one that you dun 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 dun, and I was like, you could go through an entire performance of, and it's, and the nature of like the dynamic between the dancers, how they have this like, they're
Mm.
partners and they're not always lovers, and they're often not lovers, and they're often like,
Well, may I just say,
yeah, it's like an expression of intimacy without maybe the intimacy, right? It's
so tango, first of all, there's a great movie called The Tango Lesson, 1997, by a
I think I've seen
filmmaker
it.
named
Yeah.
Sally Potter.
Okay.
And it's very interesting. And you guys should all watch it if you're curious about the tango. But tango moves from it was sort of brought to Argentina um through like shipping lines, and it was men who were dancing tango with
Together.
men. So
Right.
there's this kind of subtext of tango history. It's
Mm.
maybe not so homosexual, but if you're a guy and it's the
It's
1850s and
and
you're on
you're
a ship,
romantic, yeah.
yeah, and then you get into port and you want to go dance with a prostitute, it is aggressive and sort of
Wow, that's
raw, and
weird.
it's
I
really
never knew.
interesting. But in the Tango Lesson, Sally Potter's film, the last scene, it's her and three men, and they dance this four-way tango, and it is so fucking sexy. And then they bust through the wall. It becomes like this sort of the imagine her sort of sexual imagination bursts through the wall, and they tango down this long room. It is gorgeous. I
Wow,
urge you
okay.
all to check it
Tango
out.
lesson. I'm
The Tango
curious. I want to
Lesson. It's
see that.
beautiful.
Okay.
So beautiful.
Wow. Okay. Well, that was a random tangent. Fish doesn't have. They've got the manteca, where they got the
Dun,
time.
dun,
They.
dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun.
dun, 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 dun. It's more salsa than it is tango. But do we have any
It's
like?
like a white boy
And we
wiggle. Come
also
on.
have
Dance
Scent of the
dance stuff.
Mules. Got at the end. It's
Da
got the
da da
Jewish.
da 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 dum
It's got
bum
the
bum. They do a little kick. We have, if we're gonna go dance stab, we have gula.
Gula
Bum, bum,
Papyrus. Yep.
bum,
Dun, dun.
bum.
That's
It's
one of
got
my
a kick.
that's my favorite dance, actually, of
It's
all the
got a
dances.
kick. We
I
also
love that one.
have
It's got a
from,
cool sort of like backwards thing. It's like
yes,
it
yeah,
feels like it's like about like to fall off itself.
totally.
I love that one.
She tilt my frame. She watched me
Watch me
fall.
fall. Dun, 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 dun,
Then
dun, dun,
how
dun,
about
dun,
from
dun.
Cosvot Voxed?
Oh God, this one.
Is it Turtle in the Cloud?
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun. This one's so
It's
stupid.
kind of funny. And then they do a little boom bop
Yeah,
with
and
their feet, right? Yeah,
whatever that stupid one is.
totally. So that's
I
anymore.
think
The trampolines are clearly a
I think the
dance.
trampolines are like, okay, so Phish famously, you guys know this. But for
Are
anybody
we
who doesn't,
dying? They should stop the trampolines. Have we talked about this? I can't look. I could
no, no,
never
no,
look.
no. They can keep going on the trampolines. They just need to tone it down. In fact, they should keep going on the trampolines. You spent any time on one of those little trampolines? It is a physical feat of.
No, I can't
Oh
go
my
on that
God, are you kidding
trampoline.
me? Why not?
I don't want to
Okay.
reveal too much on
Okay,
the
that's fine, that's fine, that's
internet,
fine.
but I've had a few kids, and it's just not a great choice for me.
Anyway, the trampoline will wear you out in no time flat. Those little trampolines, you get going on them for like 1 minute.
I'm just
And
always so afraid that somebody's going to jump off and blow
no,
their
but
knee
the
out.
whole reason this band is
Oh,
going
Lord.
on so strong and so healthy is those goddamn trampolines. I'm not even joking, Ann.
Oh,
It's all these silly
Lordy.
dances. It's like playing Sudoku or playing chess or Ego.
Like
It's
it
like one.
keeps them,
It
it keeps
keeps
them
them
young
going.
and
It keeps them
in.
young. And I'm sure that like at one point they were like, let's get rid of these stupid trampolines. They're just, it's hard. I can't do it, you
I
know?
don't know if you're 60, at what point? 70? I'm just so terrified every time that something bad's
It's
going to
just the
happen.
Trey needs to retire the 720 or whatever he does. He needs
He
to retire
does.
and he can just do the 90
I think he
degrees.
does that though for the cord, because then he unwinds the cord the
Oh,
back
come
way.
on. Let's get a cord that doesn't,
We
come
could
on.
go cordless. It's a modern
Or
world.
just for the song. I mean, just we can keep the trampolines, but he just doesn't need to do.
Yeah, like you
It
pull
is
out the
true.
oscilladoc for the trampoline moment or something like that.
It's like the kids are telling him, Dad, you can't drive anymore. We gotta take your car keys away. You
It's like
can't have
me
the.
telling my mom, please, would you retire? You're 80 years old, Mom. Why do you keep driving to the Bronx? I'm so nervous for you.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let's keep going with comments.
Okay.
We're so
Okay.
far behind.
No,
We
we're
went
not.
off the
We're
rails. Okay.
perfect. We're perfect.
Let's see. Spud, thank you for the comment about the pinball dance move. I'm loving to imagine what that might be, and that was a fun little tangent to go off on there.
Maybe I'll practice it tomorrow when I'm up in the mountains.
I feel like you could
Oh.
bring the pinball move, the pinball.
I will let Spud know how that works out and if I varied it at all.
You've got to get also the tilt. Tilt, right? My dad.
It looks like you're doing from the Thriller.
You are. That is a move that is a pinball move. The pinball isn't just.
Oh, I see. Because you might be all up on one side, and
yeah, you got to bang it over.
You're banging it.
But if it's got some sensor in it or something that if you go too far, you get you're cheating. You've tilted the thing. That's why it's an official move in pinball tournaments.
Okay. I feel like I could mix up the pinball with maybe the Miss Pac-Man, because that's kind of my game. So
what's the Miss Pac-Man?
I don't know yet. I'll let you know after this weekend. We'll see I'll regale you with tales of new dance moves.
Wait, what's going on this weekend? You got a show, or
I'm gonna go see J-Rad.
Joe
Russo's almost dead. Up in the mountains.
The
yes.
Miss Pac-Man and the pinball machine. I tell you, like,
what's the other one? Where you bang it, and you're a little spaceship, and you're bing bing.
Space Invaders, Galaga. Okay.
Maybe pinball and Galaga work better. I'll let you guys know.
We bought my dad a pinball machine for Christmas last year.
No way. Did you really?
Yeah, he's got a pinball machine in his
house. Is he just loving it? Does he play it all the
time? He cried. There's a few memories in my life where my dad cried out from joy from we gave him a chainsaw one.
He cried over a chainsaw and a pinball machine.
I love my dad so much. He's so great.
He is a singular man.
He's so great. Okay, those Tiny Desk concerts are really something to watch. Yeah, Phish played the Tiny Desk concert. If you're Phish curious, then go watch the Phish one. It's pretty fun.
And they got on the trampolines.
They got the little trampolines. Don't you remember they had the little ones?
Yeah, they put them up on the side. But I think they did have big trampolines bring the real ones. Yeah, I think they did.
I think that was a joke. That joke didn't go over that well. He put on the leg warmers on his fingers. Yeah. And he's like, "Get it?" And we're like, "No, Trey, it's a stupid joke." He's like, "No, it's funny." And we're like, "No, it's not."
Yeah, I do. You know what struck me from that concert though was when they turned the camera around from the tiny desk, which is oh so tiny. There's a huge room, and there was 100 people in the room. My friend Coley was there. I saw her on the recording. A friend of a friend at NPR got her an in. But I was sort of shocked. You just turned the Tiny Desk concert camera around.
There was
pretty sizable.
There was probably 50 people there.
No, I think there's 100 people there. I don't know. Okay. We'll watch it again.
We'll watch it again at some
We'll
point.
let you know what's real.
So it's okay. It's a Jewish tradition
Oh,
to be untraditional. Is that a Jewish thing? It sounds about right.
I mean, there is that Jewish tradition that, like, you don't just accept Torah, you debate it, and debate is a big part. So being non-traditional sort of tracks.
Okay. Oh, I think we're at the end of the comments here. Okay, that's good.
Thanks for stopping by, you guys.
All my post-grad training. Okay, just let's see. I just read a ton into the body language on screen at this pertinent moment, but I'll keep it to myself.
Tell us everything.
Yeah, what did I do? What did we do? He's a bit of a analyzer. He's deconstructing us somehow with our
that's what
dance
smart
moves.
people do. Ready? On the count of 3, do a dance move. 4D will tell us what it means. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
I'm doing the Charleston. Oh, no, that's my move. You just told me to take my. Oh, you're doing this. Okay.
I don't know. I'm doing like a kind of smooth thing. Okay. Where'd Brian go? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Well, I think that's we riffed. We riffed. We carried the conversation on for an hour.
Are we gonna? Well,
yeah. Let's read. We can read something, but what do we want to read?
I sent you an article.
Oh, you did, but I did. I've got my Japan stuff handy. You don't.
I do. I can click into Japan because
what
I have
my
do?
doc. You want to read
open.
the thing that you sent? I have no clue what you sent me. I have not even
It was a thing about Trey turning 60 last year. And his birthday is September 30th. So he's turning 60 wonderful this year, I do believe. And I just got to find my Japan link. And we could read Japan.
Oh, no.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think is best?
I get this. Here's another. Am I coming through okay?
Yes.
I'm nervous that I'm going to get kicked off again and leave you hanging.
I see you.
I'm definitely delayed.
Okay. I can't tell. I'm actually looking for my thing, but where did I put the
let's
Japan?
read the let's not read Japan. Let's save Japan. Let's read this Trey article.
Are you sure?
Yeah, for sure. It looks way more. I'm more into this.
It's over a year old, so let's preface with that. But I think it's fun to read about Trey, 1, because we're such nerds for him. And 2, because Trey Band is coming to Colorado for 2 nights. And I think I have tickets. There's this really cool new venue. Not even new. It opened right before the pandemic. Trey opened it, much like he did the Fillmore. You might recall that. But he opened a venue called the Mission Ballroom here in Denver. And it's really cool. It has a giant disco ball. The stage is on casters, so it can roll closer to the audience if the show is not sold out. And they can make it more intimate, or it rolls back. It's maybe like a 3,000 capacity venue.
That sounds fun.
And the sound is wonderful, I think, in my experience. I've heard people say it's not, but that has not been my experience.
People have complained that the sound is not good. Is that what you said?
Yeah, but I don't buy it. I really don't. I don't know what concert
people just
they
want
went to
something
see.
to complain about.
I think they do, but it's really beautiful, and I think they did a great job with it. It's what's Kevin Morris? Morris. What's his first name? The big music guy out here with AEG.
Strasberg.
Well, yeah, him too, but Kevin Morris's uncle. Anyway, it's in the lineage. It's a great venue. There's some cool art there, and the venue is wonderful. So that's where Trey is playing in November, the weekend, maybe before Thanksgiving, wonderful. 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. I'm so excited.
That's like the perfect time
it's gonna be great.
See like a Trey Band show, because it's like
full horns.
Cozy. It's like cozy. You're like getting into like winter, and it's you
have to dress smart to like not have too many layers, but not be freezing cold when you leave the venue. boots and jeans weather, sweater weather. I'm excited. It's
Yeah.
still kind of hot here, but we'll see what
I mean,
happens.
I would honestly, I mean, that's like I'd almost rather come to see something like that than come to see like Folsom Field. That would be like a
It's more intimate.
oh man,
Do you
it's
want to
just like
come? You want me to get you a ticket for each night? You want to be my date?
oh
Do you
my
want to be my
god.
platonic date?
Yeah, absolutely. But let's see, November. What's the date again?
15th and 16th or
It's
something like that.
actually kind of doable. Let's get a sponsor somehow. Let's get a maybe he needs a photographer. Maybe we need to get hired. Maybe I need to get yeah. Let's work that
Call
angle.
Renee.
Call Renee. Yeah, let's call Renee and see if we can get it. Yeah, could be cool, right? It could be really fun.
Brian, it'd be amazing.
Oh
It'd
my
be
god,
so cool. You
I
could
like
do
pipe dreaming about it.
Fishohoku
Right, right. Actually, yeah, we
or
wanted to do that for a long time.
Photo
Photo Hoku, yeah.
Fish. Photo Hokish. I don't know. We'd have to work it out.
It's already there. The ph is already there. It's Fishuhoku, or
Fishuhoku.
it's a
What would that
mouthful.
translate as? Fish
It's
home?
probably I don't know. We can figure it
What is
out.
Hoku?
Tohoku
Tohoku.
is Eastern. What is Tohoku? I don't Eastern land maybe. So it's like the
Hmm.
Pacific North or what the Northeast. What am I trying to think of? The Atlantic.
Fish Tohoku. If you go far enough east, you'll get to Colorado from Japan, I'm pretty sure.
No, we could reconceptualize it. Don't worry,
Yeah,
I can figure that out easily,
I
very
like a
easily.
portmanteau. I'm a big fan of a quick, funny in that way.
Yeah, we could figure that out. We
All
could
right, let's
figure it out.
keep talking about Brian comes to the US for some live ridiculous.
That'd be so nice. And like if we could like go backstage like the old days and like sitting on the couch and like be like looking at each other and like pinching ourselves like look at us, we're like backstage. Everybody's here. Can you believe this? It's so fun. What are we doing?
Actually, speaking of backstage and pinball and games, backstage at the Mission Ballroom, there's a game room and they have like 25 old school arcade
Arcade game.
games. And
Cool.
I haven't really, I've just like kind of popped in and been like, that's fucking cool. But I wonder if they have pinball. I'll let you know next time I get back
Do you
there.
think how much is a fish ticket, by the way, these days? Is it $100 for a ticket? Is that what you have to pay these days?
Yeah, 100, 110. It kind of depends where you're at, where you're going, when you
Okay.
got your ticket, who you got your
What's the
ticket from.
cheapest ticket you can get? Not like the end of the night, but like I mean, if you like, you're going into the show and there's still tickets at the box office. Like, what's the cheapest you can get? You can't get a
Oh,
$40
I
ticket
mean, no, you're
anymore.
not gonna, they're not gonna sell that at the box office, but maybe you could like, it's a show. Some guys just got an extra ticket. I don't know, $40.
Really? You can get a
I,
ticket for 40
I mean,
bucks.
I haven't. I like my tickets before. I like to be planned, but maybe I haven't done that in a long time. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because I just like, yeah, this Paul McCartney thing. I don't know if you've been paying attention to it, but like Paul
No,
McCartney's touring and tickets are like the Dead thing. Do you think that Dead thing, that the 60th
dude.
Dead thing, that was like $600 that, and they ended up being like a lot more. And then people were complaining that it was all these like tech bros who were going to be there and not the real family dog. And then like there was all this blowback about it being in Golden Gate Park where the Dead used to play for free
Yeah,
forever and ever.
yeah.
But then in the end, it looked like maybe if it was 2 days, even though it was really expensive, like I don't know, like it kind of maybe seemed like
You could get a
people
ticket
stopped
for
complaining
cheap
about it.
day of.
Okay.
You could, is what I heard. I can't remember how much. Maybe like $100 day of. I don't know. There's an app called Cash or Trade in the US. I don't know if they have a Japanese counterpart, but people who want to get rid of tickets do so at the market price on Cash or Trade. And that's an interesting way to get last minute tickets. That happens.
Well, I hope there never comes a time when fish tickets are like $500.
I
That would
mean,
be a
if you
bummer.
want a pit ticket on the secondary market, you would spend more than that. I can't believe people do that. Um, like spend over. I
What
can't say
happened to
that
like
because
general admission? What happened to like the floor and like
what
everything else?
happened to love,
No,
man?
but I'm serious. Like that's how long I've been gone. Like the floor was the floor, and
Welcome to capitalist America, bro. It's so fucked.
it
We're
sucks.
not going to
The
get into
floor
the
was so
politics of it
good.
all,
I just
but
love the floor.
yeah, I feel you, dude. I feel
Dix
you.
is like the floor. Dix is like that, right? Though.
Yeah. It's all GA. You either are floor GA or you're stands GA.
Okay, but you can't go in between. You can't. If you're in the stands, okay. But it's kind of like bleachers too. You're kind of like it's like a
Yeah,
ball game, and you
totally.
can kind of like go anywhere you want, sort of. Or you have
Yeah.
an assigned seat, and if somebody comes and says, "Hey, this is my seat," you got to move. But essentially, it's a free
Well,
for
not
all.
in the well, no, not at Dick's, but that it was like that in parts of Folsom. So the floor was all GA,
Uh-huh.
and part of the stadium was GA. But then I
Okay,
think the close-in seats
right.
were
Okay, they were
assigned.
reserved. Okay.
I don't know. People want a variety of things. Not everybody wants the floor because they're getting old and their knees hurt and their back hurt and they want to sit down and have a pretzel and yada yada. Sometimes I like that. Like in Austin, I did purchase tickets on the secondary market because I wanted a seat. I wanted to be close and I didn't want to have to get there hours and hours early waiting on a line to get a great seat on the floor, which if I have floor tickets, I will show up for the whole wait in the line rigmarole. And then it's fun because you see all the people that you only see on Phish Tour, but it can be a little anxiety inducing when everything is starting to hit and they haven't started yet. So, if you know what I
This thing
mean.
about dynamic pricing too. You've heard about this, right?
Tell me more. I'm sure.
Dynamic
Yeah, I know the
pricing is like
phrase.
it's I don't exactly know if I even know it fully understand it, but it's just simply like if there's a lot of tickets, if there's a lot of people on the website at the same time trying to buy tickets, then the prices go up.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
And if there's
bots.
not so many
Bots.
people, then they go down. Yeah. So dynamic pricing is
Interesting.
yeah. And so some people hate it, and I think everybody hates it. I'm not
Well,
except for
it's
except for the
strange.
money collectors.
Ticketmaster is still a fucked up conglomerate, and it is turned into such like just concerts in general are a gatekeeping activity at this point. If you are a kid like my son, like your kids, and you want to go see a concert, you're not sitting on $500 to go see a concert.
No
In
way.
our day, you want to go see a concert,
$7. Yeah.
$7, $6, $10,
Right.
$20 even.
Right.
But like even if you asked your parents, like, hey, can I put this on your credit card? It was only $20 for your ticket. If my son was like, I want to see Tool, can I put a concert ticket on your credit card? I might be like, bro, that's gonna be like $400. Like, give it up, turn it loose, and he's not he doesn't want to spend his money like that these days. He's working hard not for concert tickets. It's just weird. I wonder if there's going to be a whole generation of musicians and patrons that never saw a concert.
I interviewed these kids yesterday, and they were all 15 and 16 years old. Didn't see one concert this summer. I don't know if I was seeing concerts at 50, but I was. I
Yes, you
definitely
were.
was.
I
I
was
definitely
too.
was. Yeah. And in Japan, they've got a really weird one. This isn't like across the board, but they've got groups. There's like an underground, like, or not underground. There's band and live house. We call them live houses. They're like in like clubs and venues, and there's like a very healthy and vibrant indie band and major kind of rock and roll scene or whatever, all music of all kinds. But then there's this other world of like highly stylized, curated like boy bands that are like In Sync and Backstreet Boys and this kind of thing, where these talent agencies get together and they build these bands and they build these enormous
That's
worlds.
like the K-pop world is very
And the
much like
way that
that.
they do it, there's the demand for the tickets is insane. They could fill up, a soccer stadium like in Tokyo, like for 10, 20 night, 30 nights in a row, and they could easily do it. And they but they have two, and then they have them and they create this like artificial sort of demand. I mean, I don't want to say it's artificial, but they create all of this like exclusivity
Yes,
about getting
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
tickets, and you
Yep.
have to get the ticket, you have to be in the fan club, and you have to be signed up for the thing, and you get to be in the raffle, and you can only be in the raffle if you're part of the fan club, which costs $100 a year, and to be in the raffle it's like 100, whatever it is. By the time the whole thing is over, and you might not even be guaranteed a ticket, and if you are, it might be like in the millionth row,
That's
and or in
cuckoo.
another town.
Yep.
And I have a feeling that they use the data that they're collecting to know that, like, this
Who's rabid?
who's rabid, or who has gone across the country to see the band, like who, like if they offer you a ticket in the last row
Interesting.
in
Yeah.
like 5 cities away, and you go and you take it, then they'll offer it to you again or something like that. I don't know how they're using the data, but they're getting so many metrics from a single ticket sale that they can just they can
It's
gamify the
really
whole thing. It's
interesting.
really weird, and everything.
Interesting is a cover word for like dark and nefarious, is really
Didn't
where
watch
my mind
it, but
is
yeah,
going. I
mine
mean,
too.
yeah, data is interesting. The disaggregation of data by humans using programs, interesting. The wielding of potentiality in data by bots and AI for money making reasons. Oh, it's highly suspicious, to quote my morning jacket, who I saw last weekend.
Oh, how were they? I fucking
Fucking
love them.
awesome, dude. It
Jim
was,
James, what's his name? He's
oh,
so cool.
he's
He's
so
so
cool.
powerful.
His band, I mean,
What does he look
it's
like
not
these
his
days?
band, it's everybody's band. I went for 2 nights. It was so good. At one point, he's singing some song and he's noodling in Mandolin Rain lyrics over this spacious kind of like ethereal jam. Listen to the mandolin rain. You know
I
that song?
no,
Yeah, it
I
was like
need.
on the radio. I
I
can't remember who sings it. Is it who played piano with the Dead for a hot second? That was more sort of
Bruce
mainstreamy.
Hornsby.
Yeah, I think it's a Bruce Hornsby song. At one point he sang the sun is up, sky is blue, beautiful, so are you, dear Prudence melody and lyrics over something else. They fucking played Ozzy Osbourne for the encore the last night. It was so good. They played
Thank God for him. Thank God
what
for Jim James.
else? They
He
played
represents a
another cover.
generation.
They played fucking Steely Dan. No, am I saying the right thing? Asia? Yeah, Steely Dan.
Yeah,
That's the name of the band.
yeah. But
They,
did it. I know the Dan.
yeah, it wasn't
Dun,
what was
dun,
the song they
do
played?
it again.
That's what they played.
Yeah.
Get back, Jack. Do it again. We'll turn it round and round. They played all of Z start to finish. It's the 20th year anniversary of that album, which is great. It opens with Wordless Chorus. So good. They played a 24-minute Dondante. I think it's the last song on the album. It was just so epic. And
They're
boy, oh
counting the
boy,
minutes on Jim James. Okay.
people
I wonder
do
if there's any.
that. There's a whole My Morning Jacket fandom that
I'm
is
sure.
as rabid as Phish. I wouldn't say more so, but smaller. And I'm in their fan group on the internet, and people are wild for them. It's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, yeah. It's
Um,
fun.
Regarding your dance move, 40 says here, Andrea was swimming by pushing water aside to move closer, and Bry was doing a 1920s flapper dance. I definitely was. That creates an invisible glass screen. Oh yeah, that's.
Oh,
Did I
yeah,
do the
yeah.
glass screen? I didn't even realize I was doing that to in front to keep a
I
proprietary
know, but what
distance.
is the off-base interpretation? I think is a real
I know.
question,
Let's come on.
40.
Of course, I could have told you that. 4D. Where's the
That's just
psychoanalyzing?
observational.
I know. I agree. I was yeah. So
Oh,
one of my
okay. So
postgrad
he
discs was
is
psychotherapy.
psychotherapy.
And another dip was counseling, though neither were my main field in any way. I'm retired, so we can shelve the analysis. Oh,
I
rip
mean,
off.
if you feel the need to dust off your chops, Brian and I I
Me
love
less
how
so.
I'm curious about the interpretation, and
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
I'm not that thick-skinned. So,
I'm fake thick-skinned.
oh,
When I
you-
get off, I have to like unwind my
it's like
nervous
fake
system.
thick skin. That's like that's the fake on purpose text.
Or like a fake fall, but like you play off a real fall like a fake fall, the fake fall.
No, well, like the soccer guys who they get patted on the shoulder and they
Yeah, sure. But no, my friend Tim McMurray, he would always fake fall, and it was funny. The whole deal.
Okay, read it, man. Read it. Close.
Well
4D.
played, 4D. I like it.
Okay. Hold on.
Does
I'll pull it
4D
up.
even listen to any Phish, or he just likes us?
I don't think so. I don't think he's interested. I don't think it's his jam, but that's okay. He's still here. Yeah, I think he's the only person who is here. So,
well, we haven't seen him in a
sticking
little
around,
while,
4D.
so we're small but mighty, Bri. You know it.
Oh no, I connect with 4D elsewhere outside of the Ridiculous podcast.
Yes, I know. He's part of the VC.
He comes on screen. He comes on screen sometimes. You know what he looks like? Yeah, he comes on screen. You can go back and watch. I'll send you a link. He comes on screen from time to time.
I've been curious about that.
Okay. Oh, whoops. Whoa. I can't read this maybe without logging in. Uh-oh.
The Rolling Stone?
Yeah.
It worked for me.
Uh-oh.
It's called The Last Word.
Yeah, wait a second. I can't read this unless I'm logged in. Let me...
Do you want me to try and... Let's see.
No. I think I can get it. Let me just give me a second.
Listen to the mandolin rain. Blah blah sha ba ba da. Da ba da 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 da. Dude, it's a pretty long ass article.
Is it? Okay. I wonder if I can.
Here, hold on. I might be able to. I
got it.
You did?
Yep.
Shoresies.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
Do
you subscribe to Rolling Stone?
No. But there are ways around this. Hold on a second. Is it working? Hold on. Option. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. It's kind of not working, actually. Let me see here. Why is it not working?
Listen to the mandolin. Do 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 do. Da ba da 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 da.
Sicket Disc just got announced as getting repressed.
Oh, really?
By the way, yeah, Sicket just announced today. Did you get? You should if you're on the newsletter, you would have gotten that memo.
I don't read my emails, Brian.
Okay, I got it here. It's a little wonky,
sure? Because I just copied it into a doc and I could share it with you.
You can send that as well.
All right. It's actually going to come from my work email. Sorry. This is
oh shit! It just went away.
Yeah, I got you. Give me a quick sec. If you go into our Facebook chat, I'm putting it in there as we speak. This is the most professional part of our podcast. Boop.
We did good. I'm proud of us, even if we ended it right here. This feels like an official episode. That was good.
Well, it's a long article. I will just say that.
Okay, well, let's see how we go. I'm nervous that I haven't read it once yet, but let's just go ahead and read it. You want to start? Take a couple, and then I'll take a couple.
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna read it on Rolling Stone, and I unfortunately I don't think you have the photos. You usually do the screen share for it, and Trey is looking particularly.
He's looking. Oh, I can see they will show you that. But the rest of the article, I'll pull that up real quick.
It's funny.
We can even leave it on that.
Of rainbow band shots. And
I
I
don't, what do you
can't
think of
say
these?
I don't love them.
I don't either.
I
I do
think
not.
that all of the band members in this series of photos, and I'm curious who did them, they look weird.
Yeah,
And
they're just.
everybody looks a little like, ugh, like kind of, I don't like,
I
just
mean,
it's weird.
you get a couple of points for trying something different, but
I wish they would stop
not
using them
into.
as the promo
Well, this is
shots,
a year
though.
old. I think they're aren't they? Did they have they kind of gone?
I
I mean,
think
I
they
don't
were
know.
around the Sphere time.
You have
Yeah.
to stick with some of these sometimes. I mean,
I
maybe
don't
they'll
know.
be. Maybe they'll. Yeah, I'm not into them. They don't work. I mean, if they were dark and brooding, it would be one. I don't know. It's just there's something wrong about them. You're
It's
right.
not it's the way that
I've
the
been
light
complaining.
hits their eyes, or in some of them, the way the
Yeah,
light does not hit their eyes,
look
and
at
they just look weird. It's just
yeah,
not a great.
not a great
Like
photo, but
sometimes you're
it's a good
watching a
expression.
podcast and
Hmm.
you can see the ring light in the speaker's eyes. It
Hmm.
happens with Anna Kasparian a lot. I watch the Young Turks news, and I can't even look at her anymore because her eyes just look psycho because the ring light is in the reflection of her eyes. Just
Have you not heard me like you haven't heard the hate for the ring light on Tokyo Record Style? I'm
no,
going
I
off
have
on it all
not.
the time and have been for
No.
years. I'm very very down on the ring light, and you're all these things that you're saying. I'm this is not like a joke, right? You're not.
No, I'm
These are all
totally
things that
for
I've mentioned.
realsies.
Like, and I think I've even touched on these photos how I don't like them,
Oh, no, I never heard that, Bry.
and the catch light in the eye or not in the eye, and the donut of the ring light. I can't even look at it. These are all
Yeah,
things that have been mentioned.
it's
Yeah,
weird.
we're of the same mind, very
Yeah,
much
we
so.
are of the same mind. What do you think about my lighting? I don't use a ring light, but I have a
You got
light.
it. It's coming from low. Like
It
your.
shouldn't be.
No, it should be from high. Our eyes like light from above, but it's dramatic. It looks great, and the color of the light, I will say, is like really nice. But even if
Okay.
you went like
Higher
way
light.
higher, yeah,
Okay.
move it up
Okay.
higher.
I
And
know
I don't.
because you can see my wrinkles,
Yeah, I
right?
want to see that should be in shadow, and
Oh. All right.
yeah,
Okay. Next time. So higher light.
higher light. Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
All right. I
But
did get a little stand for my telephone though, so that
you're
is
doing
maybe
great, and I'm
okay.
really
I'm trying,
proud and
guys. I'm
impressed.
trying,
You're doing
guys.
good.
Brian and 4D. All right,
Literally, that is all of us who are here.
that's cute.
Hold on, let me just see if there's
Do
one
we
last
have
comment
any
before we get
replay
going.
value these days? We really do
There's
need to
nobody.
get on a schedule, and maybe people will come hang out with
I
us.
don't think so, Ann. I think it's just you and me. I
And
think it's just you and
4D.
me.
Not even Ninja Cat Matt. Oh
I know. Where's
man.
Ninja Cat Matt? Come
I
on,
don't
Matt.
know.
We're waiting for you.
All right,
Okay.
I'm going to start reading. I'm going to
Okay.
read.
Go for
We
it.
are looking at an article from Rolling Stone in the section called The Last Word. It is published on July 11th, 2024. It is by Andy Green, and our title is Trey Anastasio on turning 60 and the song he wants to play at the end of Phish's final concert. The singer guitarist also breaks down Phish's new album, Evolve, shares the lessons he's learned from sobriety, and explains why he feels great empathy for Jerry Garcia. We're going to cover a lot of ground. Just a few weeks after Phish wrap up their summer tour with a 4-night stand at Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City, Colorado last year, Trey Anastasio will celebrate his 60th birthday. Ooh, there goes the light. Sorry, I was messing with it. That's a heavy moment for some people, but Anastasio says he couldn't be happier about it. Maybe this is going to sound strange, but I really like it, Anastasio says. It's like something really amazing is happening where I'm not part of the scramble anymore. It gives me the opportunity to observe and enjoy. It's a beautiful feeling, and it's a different stage of life where you want to share what you've learned with people and just be quiet on the side of things. I'm not scrambling up hills anymore. It kind of reminds me of the Jimi Hendrix song, Room Full of Mirrors. I used to live in a room full of mirrors, and all I could see was me. Then I take my spirit and I smash my mirrors, and now the whole world is here for me to see. It's a fucking epic song.
Nice reading of it.
Yeah, thank you.
Anastasio picked up quite a bit of wisdom across his 60 years, and he called up Rolling Stone. Interesting. During downtime from rehearsals for a special solo concert at Tanglewood in Massachusetts with the Boston Pops to share it with us. During the course of an hour-long interview, we chatted about everything from his love of Joni Mitchell to the creation of the new Phish record, Evolve. The band's hiatus from 2004 to 2009, fronting the Grateful Dead at their 50th anniversary shows, confronting drug addiction, why most bands learn to hate one another, how Phish somehow managed to be an exception to that rule, and the very last song he wants the band to play at its last concert, hopefully decades from now.
I'm really intrigued by that.
I know what song I want to hear. I know very well which song I want it to be played, the last song.
Okay.
I don't know if we'll save it to the end.
Okay.
Do you have does a song come to mind for you?
I mean, I'm wondering if you're thinking Fluffhead, but
no, I'm
no,
not.
I can't. What's the use? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just curious to know what Trey wants to do.
Me too, actually. I don't know. Remember reading this. I'm sure
I don't
did,
think I've read it either. But no, I just never want to hear the last Phish. I can't even imagine. It hurts my heart to think about it.
But it would be nice to have, like, I don't know. The Who just announced that they were the ending. The Rolling Stones, how many times have they announced their ending? Like all these bands who, like, it would be kind of nice to. I mean, it would be poetic. I wouldn't mind. I hear what you're saying, but from a storyteller's point of view, from like an epic journey, like a thoughtful ending with like some resolution, and that we can all sort of rally behind, sounds like.
You know what? I know my song. It's a cover. It would be Three Dog Night, Joy to the World would be the last song.
It's a good choice. Okay, well then I'll
Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea, joy to you and me. That's my choice. I always wanted Phish to cover that since high school.
I never even thought about it.
I feel like it's too 1-to-1, but that's my absolute dream cover.
That's a good cover.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna stop sharing this. Should I leave this up here, or should I leave it? Okay, fine. Yeah. So the link is in the chat, guys, and I can't see the chat at the moment, but we'll stop at some point.
Right.
I'll just say my song that I want to hear at the last Phish show. I want to hear "Show of Life."
Oh, that's so sad. Everybody would leave at like. Oh.
Yeah, "Show of Life."
What's on your schedule? What's on your plan? Would you ever admit what you can't understand?
Seen places I've been on.
You wouldn't even be able to get through it.
It's a sad song.
Oh,
it's a very sad song. Yeah, "Show of Life."
I like my pick better, but I can't wait to hear what Trey wants to play at the end.
I also like this idea of "Miss You," of like you're in faces of people I see on the street. You're everywhere.
I could get with that.
But "Show of Life," I think would be like. "Show of Life" has like an unbroken chain sort of vibe to it. It has like to me, it does. Anyway, I'll keep going.
Find yourself right here
in the show of life.
In the show of life.
It's got like, right?
Oh,
it'd be
God.
so good. It's like a happy ending.
Is it
the show of life? You know,
that's a heart wrencher.
I'm surprised you're not. I'm surprised you're down on "Show of Life."
No, I'm not down on it. I'm just imagining it as the last song, and I feel like I would be so sad because there wouldn't be any more shows.
But that would be it would
just
be
reason. Life.
It would
I know. I feel you.
Cathartic. You know.
All right, you're very sentimental with Phish.
I am.
I know. Do you want to keep reading? What music still moves you the most? You read this.
Okay. French composer Maurice Ravel. That's because his work lives on the outer edge of the emotional language, the harmonic language, the sensitivities. It speaks to the muddled emotions that I've felt for most of my life. But if you want to go from Ravel into rock, I would say Joni Mitchell's Hijera.
Best album in the whole
or Joni Mitchell's Blue for the same reason. She was able to express confused emotions without nailing things down. I never got a sense from Joni that she's telling me that she understood stuff. All she ever expressed to me was the same mystified feeling that we all have on a daily basis.
Are you familiar with Hejira?
I have it, but I don't think I've listened to it in years. I have a nice little Joni Mitchell collection, and I have it, and I think it's kind of like the jacket is tattered, and I think it's discouraged me. I think I inherited it, and maybe I've never listened to it.
When I got together with Dave, the first CD he ever burned me was Joni Mitchell Hejira, but he burned the second side first and then
Oh,
followed it up with the first side of
backwards?
like, yeah, it was backwards. So I always love starting the album in the middle where I know it from. It is such a journey. It's one of the most gorgeous albums ever, ever, ever. Fucking Jaco Pastorius. I mean, it's so beautiful. The composition is just gorgeous, gorgeous.
It's here, right? I'm gonna bring it down. No,
And I slept on the pillows of my wonderlust.
it's this one, right? That's the one, right?
I can't see you far away. It's
Oh no,
just
that's
her
Ladies
on
of
the
the
cover.
Canyon. Okay, wait, I don't have it. Maybe I do. I don't know.
Oh, Brian, I'll find. I'll buy you a copy if you don't have it. It's so good.
Oh, I don't. I have Clouds, Blue. I don't have it. Okay.
I'll find a record
I've got
for
Clouds,
you.
Blue, Lady of the Canyon, and Mingus.
Okay, you've got a present coming your way when I can get to
No,
a record store.
don't. It's too expensive. But thank you, Ann. I'll pick
No,
it up. I don't have it. I know it though. I see it all the time. I think you can actually get it for relatively inexpensive.
When you buy it, should you get it before I send it to you? Start on the B side, then go to the A side.
Okay. I
And
like
then
that.
we'll have
plan.
the same understanding of the album.
Okay, I like that.
I don't know why.
No, I love that actually.
It's so good. All right. What are the best parts of success and the worst parts of success? You want to keep reading, is Trey?
You can take it. Go for
All
it.
right. The
Read
best
the whole
part.
thing. I think these questions, they might, I don't know if they, it looks like I can see, they might get broken down into nice little segments by the question.
They do.
And then I can ask you a question, and then you can ask me the question. I can read it. So I'll read the question to you.
Okay.
What are the best parts of success and the worst parts of success?
The best part of success is that it gives you an opportunity to work. Tomorrow I'm playing with an orchestra, which is something that I love. It was my childhood dream. And without the success of Phish and my other outlets, I never would have been able to do this. So that's the good part. It opens up doors artistically that you might not otherwise be able to enter. The worst part is that it makes you self-conscious and is horrible. I'm in a band that isn't very famous. It's been the luckiest thing that ever happened to us. And yet, every time I walk out the door, I keep getting reminded that maybe I am. People who come up are always nice, but suddenly you're conscious of the fact that you're being watched, and that can really fuck with your head. If you take that to an extreme, it's killed people before, many times, thousands of times. It's the story of 1,000 years. At the same time, it's a learned skill, and you can figure out how to live with it. And once you do, you're fine. You don't see it as a real thing, and you can just enjoy meeting people and all of that. And now you're back to the good part of it. The good part is that I meet really great people sometimes, randomly, who tell me stories about coming to shows or they brought their mother, that kind of thing. It's cool. It makes you feel really good.
About that, real quick, do you think, you know, the notion of like middle celebrity or like, you know, like somebody like Trey who considers himself not in a famous band. I couldn't imagine somebody kind of more famous, but like, or I mean, I definitely get what he's saying, but like, do you think you would have handled celebrity well, or do you think it would have like fucked with you, or do you, like he says here, it's a learned skill. It's an interesting skill. Not everybody gets to learn that skill. And it would be an interesting, I think it would be like, I would like the opportunity to learn that skill. I don't know exactly why, but something makes me think that, you know, you hear about people who like don't sign autographs. They're like, no, I don't sign anything anymore. Or you think about like the Beatles who like couldn't go anywhere without like being noticed, or, and you hear people like being standoffish, and then you hear people about being really nice. Like, and I imagine everybody imagines themselves like being, you know, magnanimous if they ever got famous, and that everybody wants to be famous, right? But, or not, maybe not everybody, but How do you think you would have? Is that a skill you would have like to learn? I mean, you and I are kind of like in our communities. We're not famous per se, but we're like connectors, and our circles or lots of circles overlap. I think we have that in common at us, maybe, but certainly not. We're not fighting off art autographs or anything like that. But how
Yeah.
do you think you would? Do you think that was something you would like to? Would you like to be famous?
It kind of goes back to the advice my son gave me when I was telling him I felt so cringy about the podcast after I watched it and was like hyper analyzing myself. And he said, kill the part of you that cringes, not the part of you that's cringe. And I get that, right? Like the part of me that is self-conscious about how I come across, how my voice sounds, my repetitious diction. If I have one too many sips of whiskey and I get a little too loose lipped on the pod, I feel self conscious and I have to kind of like meditate my way out of it. And I will say that as a teacher in a small town or small city, big town, I often don't want to leave my house because I don't want to run into kids, especially if I've been like smoking pot or something at home. It's just awkward and I don't really want to deal. I just want to be me. And sometimes that determines my choices. So I don't think I would want to be famous, but I wouldn't mind having like money and a driver and good fashion and like maybe a more updated house with a sink that is not clogged currently and kind of I wouldn't mind some of like the human trappings of the fame, but I would hate to be one of those people who walks out the house to get coffee and somebody's like waiting to paparazzi your ass.
Right.
Like, I don't know what the celebrity culture is like in Tokyo or wherever anybody else lives that listens to this podcast, but in the US, paparazzi culture is like fucking out of control and it's so gross. And I feel like who was it? Andy Warhol like spoke on celebrity and like your 15
Yeah.
minutes of fame. I don't know. I
I
wouldn't
think
mind the money, but the
he
whole
mentioned
like being self-conscious all the time. I get that like cringe feeling. Everyone's watching me now feeling, and you might change who you are or how you think you have to be in the world because people might know you or something. That feels like a tough way to go around being a person in a body living in a life, you know?
you mentioned like paparazzi culture, and like here it's, well, not here, well, here I would say because it's Tokyo and probably like New York City's and Los Angeles is, but maybe it's also in the Boulders, I have no idea. But like seeing somebody walking around talking to a camera with a selfie stick like I am often,
Yeah.
it's not that uncommon, right? And you're just, when you see when you're on a corner and there's three other people who are doing it, you feel gross.
Yeah, I can see that.
You're just like, ugh, is this me? Is this what I've turned into? Is this like, okay,
Like
here
those
we
people
are.
are a mirror for you a little bit,
A
right?
little bit, and they're cool, and I like what they're doing, and their storytelling. I mean, that's what I think. If you're worth any bit of salt, you're telling a good tale out here. You're doing your best to tell a good story. You're not just, looking good with your fingernails and your makeup and your, what's that, cleavage, which is nice. I know shame, but like, I hope that there's something of a little bit of substance. I'm trying to provide something a little bit of substance.
I think you do a great job.
Well, I appreciate that,
And I
but
think you have a wonderful talent for spinning a yarn.
one thing that he mentions here also is that oh yeah, it's like the greatest gift of life, like the mediocre the middle stage of fame.
Yeah,
Like how
yeah.
great would it be to like have all the money and like all the trappings of like celebrity
Yeah.
without like, all he has to do is go out to his fans and just the weirdos like you and me who are like, oh my god, Trey, and he's like, hey, yeah, you want to, yeah, I'm sure
But
there's
meanwhile,
the
Cher is like, loving you up on stage. Now, is Cher going to
right.
know who you are on 58th Street and,
No,
West First? Probably not.
no.
So
You're
it's
just
a
another
lot
face in
around
the crowd.
context too.
Right,
You
right.
just, yeah. Remember that
Although
remember that song Face in a Crowd by Tom Petty? You were just a face in
face
the
in the crowd.
crowd.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a
yeah, yeah.
great, great, great tune. Anyway,
There's
um,
also there's a scene in what's the movie? What was the recent one called? Something in my mind.
Between Me and My Mind.
Between me and my mind, where they're having ice cream with his dad. Trey's having
Yeah,
ice
yeah.
cream with his dad, and somebody comes up and he's like, "Oh my God, Trey, I hope you're having a nice day. Can we take a selfie?" And his dad looks at the camera and he's like, "This happens all the time."
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe it's he gets it more, and maybe he's talking it down a little bit. Could be because he probably like gets. I mean, whenever we saw these guys, we've had the chance encounter with them a couple of
Oh,
times.
we
It's like,
were sheepish waiting at the radio station. Totally.
yeah. I mean, it's like these guys are. They might as well have been the Beatles or Elvis or something. It was like, you know.
Well, speaking of the Beatles, there's that middle paragraph where he says, but suddenly you're conscious of the fact that you're being watched, and that can really fuck with your head. If you take that to an extreme, it's killed people before. And I was thinking about John Lennon, who, if I'm not mistaken, had welcomed weird people into his homestead in England. But then here you are in New York City, and some fucking crazy person fucking shoots you because they think they know you, and then your life is gone. And so that extremity of celebrity culture, and that was in the 70s. New York is interesting because most people, though, they're just New Yorkers. You're doing your life. Like, people can be famous in New York and nobody really bothers them too much. It's kind of why I think people quite enjoy living in New York. There's just, for New Yorkers, it's like, oh yeah, there's like this famous guy at the restaurant. I see this guy in the neighborhood. But I don't think it's as big of a deal, let's say, like LA, where the paparazzi is everywhere and they're selling their pictures for millions of dollars. But to an extremity, it feels unsafe, and I think he's alluding to some of that. I don't know. Shall I ask you the next question?
No, let me read a couple quick comments. Okay,
Oh, great.
what do you make of this? This is pretty bold. He's
All
saying,
right.
okay, since I've had a strong beer and it's late night and
Oh,
there's
great.
hardly any audience, it's this. Andrea would be interested if Bri would make a move, but Bri is in push-pull mixed message mode where, okay, this keeps going.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, it would be
No.
improper. Wins out. And Andrea is cool enough, grounded enough to accept this and go with the flow. I think
Is there a part 3
okay,
to this?
here we go. That's what Andrea that's what Andrea's dance was doing, swimming close to Brian's goldfish bowl, blowing bubbles while Brian this is getting a little bit out there. Okay, while Brian kept the glass
he said
screen
it was
up.
out there. We're not going to shame him for telling the truth
Okay,
here.
sorry.
Or a
It's
truth. What is interesting is that
the glass, right? You're swimming in the glass.
That's so
bowl.
funny.
That is funny.
Open up, motherfucker.
Maybe 40 is right. I don't know. But
No, Brian and I, like, you always
it would
had
be
a girlfriend,
and
and that
you were married.
person was
Yeah.
always like one of my best friends. And you've been married to your wife for over 20 years at this point.
Yeah, basically.
And honestly, we have had too much, like, real friendship intimacy. I think wouldn't that be the weirdest thing?
It would not
be.
be. No,
No.
It would be one of like a movie style.
I'd be like, what did I do?
Like, I know.
But I do appreciate the, like, I've got enough
too.
grace to be
It's
like,
nice.
I could keep it cool.
Although, like, I would say, like, I think we're both, I mean,
attractive young people.
Thank you.
Young old
I
people.
wasn't going there, but that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
You're very attractive. You're very lovely, and I think you have a lot of admirers. I admire your natural beauty, obviously. I mean,
Thanks,
but
Ray.
anybody would.
I find you
Um,
cute as well. You're an attractive
oh,
man,
cheers.
and you've got that joie de vivre for
Oh,
many, many reasons.
but I think you could like in a. I see. I see people. I see young people like critique relationships and who just haven't been through basically what you and I've been through. I mean, we've
Anything.
been
Yeah.
through I mean, you've been widowed essentially once. I don't mean to make light of it, but it's like, you've dealt with it all, and I've seen I
If
know
I
every
told you, I mean, I could list 10 things that you're like, yeah, I saw that movie. I saw that movie. Oh, yeah, I think I saw that movie too. It's strange when your life becomes a weird rock and roll cliche, and I have lived that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and I feel like if there is anything, if there if and I don't mean to even give this thing any
No,
oxygen,
do
but like
it. I
if
think
there
it's
was
interesting.
if there was a moment in time where there, because that's this, you know I've had that experience where you get with the one you're not supposed to be with, and it's kind of like, yeah, we did it, and it's funny,
Oh
and
my
like, yeah,
God.
I guess we're friends
Yes.
now, and like it's weird
Yes.
now, we
That's
did
in
it.
the story
I could see
11.
that. I
Yeah.
could see us being like, oh, I never want to think about that again, but let's just keep being pals, and then it's never the same, and then or like, I don't know, something that a journal entry. You could be a journal entry, Andrea. I could see you being like,
You
oh,
mean I haven't been one yet, Brian?
I haven't journaled that much in the last 10
Okay.
years.
No, whenever when I'm thinking about this, the memory that comes back the most is you trying to tell me that we're not real and it's all a simulation, and me pinching you so hard to where you yelled out so loud. And we're button pushing sort of sibling esques with
Yeah.
a lot of, I think, squishy love in there. But
Yeah. Somebody would throw a dish
romance
at a
was
wall
never.
and porcelain would shatter. That I could see that happening at some point in a relationship with you.
Mhm. Oh, you'd be so annoyed. I know. I would get. I would annoy you so much.
No, I would annoy you. You'd be like, no, it'd be
Actually,
mutual. Let's
maybe,
just leave it at
maybe.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Whatever. Our love is just
It's
perfect
fun
the
though.
way it
It's fun
is.
to consider something. But I do
Thanks, 4D
know.
man.
Yeah, cheers. That was a fun little
The
exploration.
existentially wobbly male. Honestly, 4D, that's like the story of everyone in my life right now. I'm a single woman. I'm like, when is my next love gonna come? I'm thinking about confessing like a crush on somebody. I could totally fuck it all up. I don't know. There are many existentially wobbly men that are in the age bracket that should be appropriate for me. And then even outside of them, they're existentially wobbly and maybe
I
drunkards.
think
I don't
I don't think
know.
you're un
Lovable?
no. You're unbreakable.
Oh, but I
You're
just want to
un
break for some time with
I know, I get it,
somebody.
but like
My heart.
you're too wild. You're a wild animal, and you will never not be a wild animal. It's like you
Well, and
cannot.
I was with a biologist for a while. I thought he could handle that shit, but
Yeah, but it's like it's like raising a tiger. Eventually you're going to, not to say that you're vicious or
I
but
could be bordering on cougar
no,
these
but you're
days,
just
just saying.
wild and you're untamed. You're untamable. That's the word I was looking for. And that, not
Oh.
that nature of a relationship should be taming anybody, but you're just too goddamn wild, Anne. You got too many crazy hairs, and that's why I love. That's your best feature,
Don't you think somebody will want to at least
Yes, but it's got to be
try?
I don't know. It's probably some square somebody who could not be more obviously not for you.
Well, I tried that in the last relationship, but which we're not doing all this. Anyway, we can't edit this out, but this is not a
We can
Porky
edit it.
situation. No, we're not going to because we're like in
I
the
have no
opening
idea, Anne.
cage.
I love all your exes, though. I'll say that for the most part. All of them, at least that I
I
know.
have a really lovely collection, I will say.
Okay.
Who's
I went off
next?
the
No, I'm just
rails.
kidding. I would quite enjoy loving someone and being loved in perpetuity. I believe, is that how you say it?
What about
Anyway,
are any of the Fish guys single? Maybe there's somebody. Maybe there's something. No, I think they're all taken, right? Right. And would anybody be off? Would everybody in Fish be? Would you consider a relationship with Mike Gordon?
hell yeah,
How
he's got
about
to be.
okay,
Everybody's
everybody.
fair game. Everybody's fair game for different reasons. But at the end of the day,
It's
with
so
those
funny.
guys, I'm here for the gang bang in my ear
Oh
hole.
God,
That's the Fish.
the tango, the four-way tango.
Yeah, exactly. I am Sally Potter.
Oh God.
Oh Lord. You know, there's a anyway.
Okay. All right.
Everybody is on the table, I guess. Oh Lord.
Okay.
It's
Let's.
just
Is it
like,
Mike's turn to ask you a question, or is it your turn to ask? Okay.
yeah,
I don't remember where we are. I think you asked me one. Yeah.
I'll ask you. Trey, you just played Steely Dan songs at the Songwriter Hall of Fame Awards. It was amazing to me that Phish had never covered them before. Feels like such a natural fit.
Paige, Trey's bandmate, Paige McConnell, reminded me yesterday that we did cover Steely Dan, but that it was quite early in the 80s. They certainly had a huge impact on me, all of us, I think. But I can only speak for myself. I listened to all those records when I was in high school. Gaucho, Asia, Royal Scam, Pretzel Logic. He rattles them all off here. Well done, Trey. I loved all those records. I was the right age. I started high school in the late 70s. It was on a perma loop on my record player, along with Peter Tosh and Jeff Beck. Interesting.
Let's continue. I'll be the questioner.
Okay.
Those are some hard songs to play, I'd imagine.
Nice reading of that question,
Hey,
Andrea.
it's not even a question. It's sort of a leading statement. Even there's not even a question mark.
I love learning it. It was such a pleasure to do that. First of all, it was an honor to talk with Donald Fagen and everything and tell him how much his music meant to me. But I loved learning it. It didn't come that hard to me. Maybe it's a language that I feel. Maybe it's a language that I feel like I speak. It may have had more of an effect on me than I even think, because I write a lot of composed guitar lines like that. So it wasn't really rocket science to me. It was a pleasure to learn the Larry Carlton solo. I like the way his brain works. That's a really cool notion, to like get inside somebody's head through like a solo or a song that they've written. I love that so much, right? I like the way his brain works. It was a joy. Not to mention the fact that the band at the Hall of Fame was a top band. What does that mean? So they played it right. What does that mean? Not to mention the fact that the band at the Hall of Fame was a top band. Oh, who he played with. Did he not play?
Okay.
He must have not played with Phish. So they played it right. I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it like 6 more times. Can we do it again? It was so fun.
I think it was like a big super group situation, right?
Yeah.
You know what I was going to say though? There was an article recently where John Mayer was talking about jamming with Trey at the Grateful Dead 60. And he had this observation that Trey's listening and playing brain body connection is so immediate that John Mayer like was really, because he did a lot of like harmonied like guitar melodies or whatever on top of each other. And, you know, like Mike and Trey have been doing a lot of that kind of almonds sort of same line in the harmonies. But it makes me think about that, this idea of like, it's a language I feel like I speak, and that intuitive nature of having probably digested and learned so deeply this music as a teenager. Like that stuff is just in you. The stuff that you went bonkers for when your brain was developing, you're 14, you don't really lose that appreciation or those kind of musical memories. I think they really get, burned into your brain.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they say that there is this kind of thing that people say that like you never, like the music that you like basically had in high school is like the music that you love for the rest of your life or something. I don't know who says this or why it gets repeated, but I don't particularly like this idea. But this notion of, yeah, that music playing a very important role in your life is certainly a thing.
Was it sets the schema, which is like a mind map for how you understand the world. And as you grow, you update your map, you update the schema, but I think we're inclined to go back to the sort of original map of what we love and why we love it and what we're drawn to.
I always remember this feeling of like hearing Phish for the first time where I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is the music I'm going to listen to forever. Like
Yeah.
this is my band. I found them. I remember having that feeling very clearly.
I have that feeling too. I can place myself in Megan's brother's room, Ryan, and we're smoking cigarettes and smoking out of a Relics bong, and dum 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 dum, the opening of Junta, right? And it's just seared in my mind. The Boggle game is sitting on the table because we would hang out and get stoned and play Boggle and listen to this album. It's just right there. It's right there. All
Yeah.
right. Do you want to ask me the
Yeah,
question?
sure. Okay, tell me, Trey Anastasio, tell me about the new Phish record, Evolve. What were your goals going into this one?
First off, there was a lot of writing initially, and then there was an experimentation with live versions of some of these songs. And this was a conscious choice. I feel like some of our better albums, we don't have a lot of great albums, but we've always been such a live band. All of my focus as a writer has been on writing songs to fill in the live set. To fill in the live set list. We need another set closer, so I'll write a set closer, or we need another slow song. That's always been the way I've thought about it. So subsequently, some of our better albums were albums that were recorded after we had tried the songs out live for a while, because they always got so much better when we played them live. We would make these albums, play the song live, and within 2 shows, the song was 20 times better than the one on the album. And then I always wish that we could go back and record it again. So that was kind of goal number one. I want to play these live at least 2 or 3 times. And the other goal was to communicate with and listen to our incredible Phish community and tab community. And it's all the same people, and to see which of these songs resonated with people before we kind of made the final choice of what's put on the record. So we did that. But then the third piece to the puzzle was that I've been doing a lot of solo acoustic tours and really enjoying them for the last 6 or 7 years. And I learned that if a song is a good song, it always works solo acoustic. And many producers have tried to tell me that since I started 40 years ago. I did a record with Brendan O'Brien, for example, and he said, sit on a stool and play me the songs. We're not going into the studio until you have a song that you can sing me with an acoustic guitar. Oh, that's cute. It's just me. Hi. I guess we lost Brian, so I'm just gonna keep on reading. The interviewer says, that makes a lot of sense. And Trey continues. Quincy Jones used to talk about that. A good song is a good song. So before we went in for this album, Evolve, I made myself a secret, private, solo acoustic version of the album after having played the songs live. I did that just to look at each song one more time and make sure that it was in the right key. All the lyrics were great. All the lyrical phrasing was great. And that all the B sections and everything were completed. And then we went back out, played everything one more time live. Literally, I think we did them all once. And then we went straight into the studio and recorded the whole thing in 2 days. So there was an enormous amount of prep work on the material, particularly the vocals, background vocals, songwriting, and song structure. And then the final piece is that I like old fashioned albums where people did takes. So Aretha Franklin, the band, they always did takes. They set up in a circle. The best Beatles albums were like that. We used take 7. They played together, and that's our greatest strength as Phish. So this whole album was recorded in about 2 days, but there was an enormous amount of thought that went into it before we got to those 2 days. You're back.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening here, but
I think you tried to take off Trey and the gods got pissed.
no, well, unless, yeah. I got a text from my kid
Oh shit.
and it, like, I don't know, I think it threw the whole thing off. So it's really
Do you have to
annoying.
go? Is your
No,
Are you sure?
no,
I
it's
know
okay.
that your daughter has Saturday school.
No, she doesn't, but
Oh.
she's in America right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Without you?
Yeah.
Like on a school trip?
No, she went by herself.
Where?
She's in my hometown. She's in Tulsa.
Shush now.
Yeah, she's there with her family, with my parents and my sisters, brothers and sisters.
Oh, that's so
And
cute.
yeah, she's having a really good time. She's
Oh
gonna
my
be
God,
back.
did Timmy get married?
Yeah.
I saw it on the internet.
Yeah, and he like he's yeah, she's lovely. Very, 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 very lovely. He hit the jackpot. He did a good job, my brother Timmy.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah, he did really good. And we all adore her. Her name's
That's great.
Lauren. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Let's hold on. So I think it's a computer. I think my computer is like it's just a little bit too old. And but we were getting asked about Evolve, and that was the new record that came out last year. And
Yes.
I kind of I was loving on Evolve a lot. I feel like in the discography of in the album disc, he mentions here like we don't have great albums, and I want to go back and record everything that I do, after
Yeah.
we play it a couple of times live. I kind of disagree. I know we've talked about this, but I love Fish records, and I hate to hear that he's not ever happy with his records. And that, like, when people say, like, oh, you got to see him live, I'm like, no, you don't. You don't have to see them live. I mean, that's great. I don't not recommend doing that, but the albums are so good. And it's like you rattled that Tom Petty song off before. What's that on? Do you know what that song is on? Is it
Free
on Full Moon?
Fallen. Or
Free
Full Moon
Fallen.
Fever. Sorry,
Full
Full
Moon
Moon
Fever, right? And
Fever.
it's kind
It
of like
is.
it's like a deep cut. It's somewhere in there, right?
It
And like
is.
those little songs that like connect, like exactly what song is the next song. It's not like
Yeah.
it's important
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
it's not it's not essential to the to the culture, but it's essential to the album. And like a Fish record, I don't want to. Maybe this sounds like I'm sliding Fish albums, but the album, they have singles on them. They all have singles on them, and to say that they don't, you're not listening close enough, or they're just singles in a slightly different universe where the cool kids are hanging out, and you are not one of them. But I think that they're great records, and I thought Evolve was fantastic.
Well, it's funny just to go back around that. Well, okay, there's a couple things to say, right? A great album from start to finish is in the Fish world for me, Junta, Rift, maybe Lawn Boy, even. We've talked about this before. I know I fell off the wagon with Fish albums. That's not really how I'm consuming my Fish. But in the sense of Evolve, I'm looking at the track listing. I don't think I've listened to this album, but I've heard all the songs but Valdez
Well,
live.
they've never played live, I don't think.
And that's interesting. Now, I wonder if Trey Band played it because he has been known to do stuff like that.
Think they have. I think the Trey Band has played it twice.
And so maybe I've heard that because I just go see those guys live a lot, as much as I can if they're coming close. But I was thinking about the White Album the other day because I was posting a photograph up on Instagram and I was trying to find the right part of the White Album where the little ditty goes, "Can you take me back where I belong? Can you take me back? Can you take me back where I belong? Honey, can you take me back?" And I was trying to figure it out. And I had to think about, okay, well, it goes into Revolution 9. So what's the song before it? Because I don't think there's a song called Can You Take Me Back? It's the very end of Cry Baby Cry. And so when you're talking about the deep cuts and those little stitcheries from song to song that make the album, that make the listening experience as a whole, I mean, we know, of course, because we're such Beatles heads, that they have to be the ones who have done that the best in all of rock and roll, right?
Sure.
But it's kind of like a different era of recording and listening. It's a different era for people listening to music and consumption of music. Phish is so interesting in the sense that, or unique, or maybe not even unique, but I think they're the majority of people who listen to Phish are maybe not listening predominantly to albums.
Yeah,
I could be wrong,
no,
but
I think you're right, and something like in me like wants to proselytize the
I know,
gospel of Fish, and
I
it's
know.
like the albums are where I want to send people. I don't actually want to send them to live shows because like what other
They might
band do
be
you?
terrified.
Well, what other band do you like say that to? You got to go listen to their live shows. I mean, yeah, I guess there is one band that I'm thinking of that makes sense.
Oh, what?
The Dead.
Oh, oh.
But that's the only other kind of exception.
Huh.
People would argue that like Bruce Springsteen. You ever seen Bruce Springsteen live before?
I never have.
So have you ever watched a DVD or anything of him, dude? I recommend you watch an entire Bruce Springsteen concert because it's one of these things that you weren't expect. I almost don't even want to give it away, but Leon Russell has this. He's recorded on one of his like live albums where he's like, "I just want to say that if you haven't had a religious experience, I want you to go back to the ticket booth and ask for your money back because I don't
Yeah.
want it."
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
way.
yeah.
That's the way like a Bruce Springsteen concert feels like. If you haven't been touched by God, then I don't need you here. I don't want your money. I don't need you here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
why did I bring that up? So yeah, but I don't know. I like all these
Live
90s
versus
albums.
the
I love all these
albums.
nice 90s albums that were never like enormous and they were like just my little there was like uh, subculture, underground albums. And I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, I'm trying to get my
Well,
shit here
you
organized.
can get your shit organized. I'm going to say this. My son just discovered Blind Melon. You
Oh
know
my
the
God.
the B Girl album. He always knew the
Shannon who? Yeah, I love no. I mean, I'm
or
super fan.
yeah, so he always knew the No Rain song, but he's really into like 90s rock. And it was so funny because he put on one of the songs. It's on his mix. He's been listening to it a lot. I'm forgetting which one it is right now. But
Soup.
no, like
Anyway,
one
it
of the
doesn't matter.
songs from I think Soup was the
Okay.
album, right?
Yeah, Soup was the album.
But man, I was like, I hadn't thought of that song in forever, and then it's on, and I'm singing along. Where did I store that song in my? Didn't even know it was in my memory banks. It's just crazy. So we'll see what else he gets turned on to, but yeah, it's just I don't know where
Well,
we
I
came
don't
from.
know if these later albums like Big Boat or Joy, even everything like post Joy, like I don't know if they will get burned to the discography and my youthful discography,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
those early albums that we talked about, but I feel like they should, and I feel something in me tells me like that they will be vindicated at some point if they haven't. If you don't love them now, it's like Mars Hotel or Terrapin Station or Shakedown Street. It's like
Oh,
they
I
like
love
maybe
Mars Hotel.
when they can, yeah, Mars Hotel is like it's like it is their best studio album, but like if you maybe it didn't sound that way when it came out. It didn't sound like Dark Star, It sounded like
the time. And I think
Mm.
maybe Evolve will come around at some point, and we'll all
Maybe evolve will evolve.
evolve. Da-dum.
All right, I'm going to be the interviewer and
Okay, where
ask
are
you.
we? Where are we?
Phish never had even a single radio
Okay,
hit.
you're asking me this one. We've read this one, or you're asking me this one.
I'm
Go
going to
for it.
ask you the question. You're going to respond as Trey.
Okay.
Phish never had even a single radio hit. The closest was Free, and most non fans don't know even that one. The way that he used even in this sentence twice in strange ways, it is making my asshole twitch. I'll try and read the sentence again. This is just weird. The syntax is weird. Phish never had even a single radio hit. The closest was Free, and most non fans don't know even that one. Are you happy you never had a touch of gray that moved the whole thing into stadiums and brought in a bunch of casual fans?
Is that what Touch of Grey did? I
I
don't think
don't
that's what.
know.
I don't
Touch
think
of,
that's what.
I don't think so either, but I feel like there are more casual fans now because people got married and their
Because of what?
family people got
Because
married
Mary,
and
right?
their families are growing, and it's a fun thing to do with your fam now because maybe your sister-in-law loved Fish and your brother was always on the fence, but now she's in the family, so we all go together. I feel like there's a lot of casual fans, but anyway, why don't you be Trey and respond?
Okay. People will never believe me when I say this, but I think it's our superpower. It's been incredibly liberating. We're not in that game. We have grown at a glacial pace. We didn't have to skip any stages of learning, and we didn't cut the line. And it's always bad to cut the line. It's a lifetime pursuit, music, and it's a series of false peaks. So every time you climb up a peak, oh, I think I get this. I think I understand album construction. I think I understand songwriting. There's always another. You get to the top and you look behind the first peak, and there's always another peak to climb, and then you die. And nobody ever figures it out at all of it. So the fact that we've been able to grow at a natural pace has been, like I said, it's the thing in a weird way, our superpower. The vibe at the shows is as intense as it is. The vibe of the shows is as intense as it is. The thing that most people describe that they love about Fish is the feeling at the shows. Because of the fact we took every step along the uphill staircase, we didn't jump in the elevator for 2 floors. Ed O'Brien from Radiohead came to one of our shows and gave me one of the greatest compliments in between sets. He watched the show from the audience, and then he came backstage and said, "I spent a lot of the night facing backwards. I was watching," and he wait, and then he came backstage and said, "I spent a lot of the night facing backwards towards the audience." Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. I was watching the
Ed.
last row. Ed was, yes. I was watching the last row of the arena in the way back, all the way at the top. Every single person in the room was completely involved in the concert. Usually there's a crew up front, and that's really into the band, and then there's the crew, and then there's a crew of there's a crew kind of in the back that it's hip to see the what was he saying? That it's hip to see the band?
Okay,
What was he
usually
saying? I
there's
don't
a
know.
crew up front that's really into the band. And
Hmm.
then there's a crew kind of in the back that, is hip to come see the band.
Ah, okay, I see what he's saying. It's a hit. It's too cool to be seen, to come see and be seen at the band, right?
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
saying, that's I want is that what is well, how does that play into Fish, do you think?
I think what he's reflecting is that everybody from the
Yeah, yeah,
rabbit
that,
in the
that doesn't
front
exactly. Okay,
to
yeah,
the
yeah, you're right.
rabbit in the back,
It's
everyone's
all the
in it.
same.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
He's going to follow it up here.
Okay. I was saying, he was saying, sometimes at Radiohead shows, I look back and I think a lot of people are here because it's cool to go see Radiohead, but they don't necessarily know all the material, and they're talking. And your fans are completely involved with and informed about every detail all the way to the back row. And I thought that was a really astute comment, being at his first Fish concert. That's what you get by taking your time. That's beautiful.
Yeah. You know, being at Phish is one of the few extended experiences, or maybe live music generally, one of the few extended experiences of time and place where I'm really not interested in my phone. I don't want to take it out. I don't want to take it out at set break. I can't deal with it. It's an immediate experience to be in the live music experience immersed. And I always love that so much about Phish. There's very few people have their phones out. At my morning jacket, oh, phones everywhere, pictures happening. It's just, it's so much less at Phish, and I love that.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a Phish show in so long that I would be hard pressed to say whether there were phones there or not. But I like this idea that, I mean, not only the people in the very back row, but the people who are like on the other side of the globe who are in Japan
Yeah,
watching the show are also completely locked
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Although that is the sort of downfall of being on couch tour is that you're not completely immersed. You're a little bit out there.
Yeah, you probably have your chat going. When I'm listening to the show, I'll check in on Fantasy Tour and kind of like see what people are saying. What did they think about the jam? Oh my God, who's laughing at the fact that they've chosen to play the line? And oh, listen to that tone that the bass has right now. It's at least it's interesting. Um,
Okay, well, let's keep going. I'll ask you the next question.
okay, okay.
I'm trying to imagine in my head what a Fish radio hit would even sound like. Have you ever attempted to write one?
I don't think I've ever attempted it, and I don't think I would know how to anyway. I also have this other weird theory about this that's not the world that we live in at this point in our career, just based on how long we've been a band. The realm of hits are, generally speaking, you go back through your whole history of music. Be My Baby, the Ronettes were 19 years old. The Beatles were 23.
Sure, but when you guys were young in the 90s, a lot of weird alt bands had these fluke hits.
I want to ask you a question, and this is going to mess with your mind. Go back and look at how old some of these people actually were.
They were probably around 23 or so.
Exactly. I want to read you a list of albums by 28-year-olds since I was just playing this game with my friends. Ready?
Go for it.
The band. Lee Von Helm and Robbie Robertson were 26 and 29. Bob Marley, Catch a Fire, 28. Joni Mitchell, Blue, 28. Carole King, Tapestry, 28. Oh, I just got chills. I love that album so much. Bob Dylan, Blonde on Blonde, 25. Public Enemy, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. Chuck D was 28. Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life, 28. Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly, 28. The Clash, London Calling, 28. Led Zeppelin 4, Jimmy Page was 27. The Beatles, The White Album, John was 28. Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run, he was 26. Radiohead, OK Computer, Tom York was 28. Sly and the Family Stone, there's a riot going on. Sly was 28. The Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street. Oh, love that album too. Mick and Keith were both 29. They were old. Oh my God, he goes on for a whole nother paragraph. You want to read this one? This is
Uh,
pretty wild.
Sure. Velvet Underground, Loaded. Lou Reed was 28. The Who, Quadrophenia. Pete Townsend was 28. Nirvana, Nevermind. Kurt was 24. Hank Williams, I'm So Lonely I Should Cry. Mona and the Blues is his great album. He was 28. Patsy Cline, I Fall to Pieces. She was 28. Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. He was 33, a little older. The Smiths, The Queen is Dead, their masterpiece. Morrissey was 28. Queen 2 and the Sheer Heart Attack. Freddie was 28 for both of these albums. Taylor Swift, Reputation, 28. Neil Young, Harvest, 28. Talking Heads, Remain in Light. David Byrne was 28. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. The Boatman's Call. I could go on for 6 hours this way, but you see what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, hits are for young people.
Yeah, so this is why it's our superpower. That's why it's liberating. We're not in this game. And the game that we're in is so deeply satisfying for other reasons. And by the way, even when we were young, that wasn't our goal. We wanted to improve the live show. That's all we ever talked about. How good a live show can we make it? I would write this material and we would practice and practice and practice. We just wanted to have this live show, and we had to have more options to choose from, and the more organic. That was our happy place. And so we reaped what we sowed. The band broke up. I'm asking the question now. The band broke up between 2004 and 2009. What was that time like for you?
Oof. If I'm Trey, I might be sweating here. At that time, I just needed to get healthy, and we were getting devoured by substance abuse and stuff. On the inside, there was exhaustion and the problems that come with growing too fast. I mean, we grew really fast. People have forgotten that we were some of the first people to do festivals in America. There weren't any festivals in the 90s besides Phish festivals. I know that sounds crazy, but Lollapalooza was a tour at existing venues. We created fully built festivals and drew 80,000 people. And there were a lot of hangers on. So that was why we stopped. We really reassessed everything in that time and came back in 2009. And everything has been pretty smooth since then. What?
You want me to go?
Yeah, no, I'll ask you. What did you learn about yourself during the hiatus?
I learned who my friends were and how lucky I am to have a family in all directions. I mean, I was in trouble at that period of time, and I'm glad I survived it. That wasn't the assured outcome, but for the first 2 years off, I spent every waking second with my kids, my wife, my mom, and my dad. I didn't even talk to anyone for 2 years almost. The next three people that came back into my life, this is going to get me choked up, were
I
John,
know.
I know, John Fishman, the drummer, Mike Gordon, bass player, and Paige McConnell. And I love these guys. It's impossible to describe the level of love within the band. All four of us have gone through a lot of things over the years. It's been 40 years. When it was my turn to crash and burn, I don't have enough words to describe how much they were there for me. One of the most longtime bands absolutely loathe one another. Says the interviewer here.
A lot of bands smile on stage together, and as soon as they get off stage, they go in six different directions as fast as they possibly can, almost always. They can't even be in catering together. We really sincerely like each other. It's weird after all these years. The only other bands I've ever met where that wasn't the case was Rush and U2. They really liked each other, but Rush knew each other in middle school.
And I think you too also, I mean, goes back to high school essentially.
Doesn't
And
it?
I think so. They were all super young, but I don't know about for you too per se, but although I might say this is true for you too, but Rush, like sometimes I'll meet Rush fans and they will say to me like, I don't know Fish, but I know how much you guys love this band because
Yeah.
we love Rush as hard and as much as you guys love Fish. So I always feel a camaraderie with Rush fans because for that reason. And I even listened to a Rush album yesterday, like a full album from beginning to end, something kind of like middle to later, I want to say. And
Hmm.
I just was like really trying so hard to connect with it. And I was like, there's so much virtuosity to appreciate. There's like so much so much great drumming and like great guitar soloing, but it just doesn't. I so admire it
Yeah.
without like liking it. I don't. It's not that it's just not my taste. But I can't hear it without thinking about how good it is. It's a very weird kind of appreciation, but it only comes, I feel like, from loving and understanding like the level of musical appreciation that can be had, that can be had, and probably exists between Rush and their fans. You know, similarly between Fish and their fans.
Well, and on a pop level, I mean, I feel like that's how people feel about Taylor Swift. And there's the Swifties, and they're so rabid. My girlfriends went to see Beyonce in Las Vegas recently, and they're sort of like the beehive. And it's interesting that the subculture of fandom is something that, even if the music is so different or separate through time or even evolution, there are many pockets of culture that have that sort of in-crowd experience that even if it's not my music, I'm so glad that people have that. You know what?
Yeah.
Like it's I think Tool is one of those bands too. I've been trying to get in a little bit and appreciate Tool. I had a recommendation for a song and then I saw another song on the album called Jimmy, and I was like, oh, I have an affinity for Jimmy. I'm going to try that out. And it wasn't as good as our Jimmy, just saying.
We
All
have a
right.
good Jimmy.
It was cool, but I have more studying to do. All right. I'm going to ask you the question.
Okay.
Something big is going to happen in here. All of these other bands were genuine friends at one point. At one point, what happens?
There's just too much water under the bridge. Anyone that would be reading this, picture who your best friends were when you were 18. That's how old we were when we met. And imagine you got trapped in a van with them for 40 years. And you and I, how far? We go back almost to 18, almost.
We probably meet at 19 at Moe's. I'm thinking
Ah,
about my best friends from when I was 18, my high school friends. I swear to God, if you put me in a van for 40 years with those women, oh, the fun we would have. Green
yeah.
team forever. I mean, those are still my bestie girls. I just hung out with them this summer, it's so
Well,
I can feel that
I
in my own experience.
the fellowship of a good band is I would say for me as inspiring as the can be as inspiring as the music itself.
I
It's
agree with that.
right, and I
Yeah.
take a lot of inspiration from how these guys have put water under the bridge and forged ahead and dealt with ego and getting back together and being there for each other. It's inspiring. It's truly
Yeah.
inspiring. So because that's what happened. You're in a car, and then when you're lucky it moves to a van, so you have an extra 35 inches of space. But then you get and then you get on a bus. But even when you're on a bus, you're in a van together to the bus, and you're backstage in a little room. It's a hockey rink, so you're basically the ref's room. You're in basically the ref's room in the arena. It's not glamorous back there. Although I wonder, like you were talking about the backstage experience, like I wonder if like backstage has changed a lot in the last 10 or 15 years. Like I imagine backstage, there's no more rock and roll bands hanging out in referee rooms in backstages at MSG or Raleigh, everywhere probably has a somewhat glamorous backstage. No, you don't think so? I would think that
I
like
just think it depends where you are, right? If your team is building the backstage, like in Mexico, you're going to have a sweet situation, right? Because they build it all out knowing how many people there are and what the crew needs and what the band needs. But if you are at Alpine Valley, they have not done anything to that venue in 50 years.
probably it's true.
And you
But
probably are still sitting in a little, brick room
but
or
Red Rock's got updated. The Greek has been updated. Alpine
Red
is gonna
Rock's
get updated.
backstage is pretty amazing, actually.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They got hip to like the
It's
posters.
true. It's true.
They're getting all. I'm sure it's real nice. I'd like to go backstage at venues these days. Okay, um, it's not glamorous back there, and for hours and hours on end, for years and years and years, and then people get married and they get divorced. And we've had 5 divorces in Phish. Wow, 4 band members, 5 divorces. I don't really.
So everybody but Trey has been divorced.
Trey's been divorced. Okay, Trey. Everybody but Trey's been divorced. So that means that what Phish has been divorced twice. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But so there is animosity with ex-wives or whatever. It just builds up and personalities clash. I've seen it with the best bands. I'm talking real loathing, like
Wait, hold on. Let's think about this because we were talking about would I be interested in the Phish dudes? And if there are 3 people who have gotten divorces, but there's 5 divorces,
2 of them have been divorced twice. Paige has probably been divorced twice, and Phish has probably when Mike or Phish has been divorced twice. I
All
bet
right.
Mike has probably been divorced twice.
I'm doing emotional math right now. Okay. Anyway, go on.
Do you want to be wife number 3 for any of them?
I'm fine never being married again.
Right.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
It still would be nice to have a real wedding one day. I'd be like 80. You have to wheel me down the aisle.
That'd be
Anyway.
fun. I'd come to your wedding. I'd come shoot your wedding.
That would be really cool.
Okay, speaking of shooting, I'm talking real loathing here. Like, don't put a gun in the room. It's really crazy. Then the interviewer says, you guys seem to genuinely like each other."
We were 18 when we met. We're going to be 60 years old soon. It's crazy. Every night before before a show, we go into this little backstage room. We have a teeny keyboard and a little 2-piece drum set and a 5-watt Fender amp. And we get in there 10 minutes before we go on stage and play a couple of songs for fun. We usually have some homework that we're supposed to do, and we bust out a song or learn something hard. Usually it doesn't happen because the second we get in the room, everybody starts laughing so hard that you can't even play. We're like, we'll play a little bit. And at this point, it's such a lucky thing that it happens that way. And the interviewer says, it's really a miracle.
God. Keep going.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure some stuff out.
That's fine. That's fine. Trey says, we had conflicts before Paige joined the first year or two. We had a different band member, Jeff Holdsworth, who wasn't happy. And he's a great guy. But when Paige walked in and it was just the 4, the chemistry is just... If people are wondering why it got so popular, I wouldn't say it's because the chemistry of the 4 people and the friendship that emits off the stage. Oh, I'm sorry. I would say it's because the chemistry of the 4 people and the friendship that emits off the stage. And that, likewise, the friendships in the audience. Our audience is a huge community. A lot of times we feel like a wedding band or something. We're out there watching people coexist who've been friends for 30 years. Oh, that gets me emotional because that's me in the crowd coexisting. Oh, if somebody quits Phish, is it over?
Yes. Hold on. I'm going to...
Do you want me to keep going?
No, just a second.
Okie dokie.
Get out of this thing. How do I get out of here? No.
Whoa, new view. Oh, you muted yourself, Bri. Excuse me. I'm gonna. Oh, now it's all Bri, and he's traveling. Okay.
Okay, I'm nearly there. How do I kick this guy off stage? I can't kick him off stage.
Can you mute him? Because you're feeding back a tiny bit. That guy is you.
I know. I can't mute him, and I can't, like... if I press end, how can I get... What if I do...
All right, I'll keep reading, and you figure out your
Okay,
double.
I think I got it. Go for it. Keep going. Sorry.
If somebody quits Phish, is it over? That's it. Listen, line me up and shoot me when I'm wrong, but there is no way that this band could exist without any of the 4 members. And the reason that all these bands keep on going with 1 or 2 members, especially 70s bands, is just because there's so much money to be made. It's all money at a certain point. I mean, it's nostalgia and money and oldies. But Led Zeppelin didn't do that. You don't have to do it, but usually you get a manager involved and some young musicians who want to jump on the bandwagon and make all the money off the old band that they aren't actually in. But I hope that doesn't happen.
Okay.
I'll be the interviewer. You fronted the Dead at their farewell shows in 2015. What did you learn from that experience?
It was an incredible honor. But I quote, oh God, you're gonna give me that one. Yorma. How do I
I
Kalkinen?
think you did it. Yorma
Okay,
Kaukonen.
Yorma. I always avoid his name from
Yeah.
from the
Jefferson
airplane.
Airplane.
Yeah, who was there from the beginning. It was an incredible
Nee,
honor. But I'll
Starship.
quote Yorma. Okay, who was there from the beginning? He famously said, "It's Jerry's band. Sorry, guys." Interesting. That's what I learned working with them. Aha, working with the Dead. Okay, the songs are incredible. And it's great. There's a lot of tribute bands going and playing it. But every once in a while, there's a titanic American musician that comes through the ether, whether it be Louis Armstrong or James Brown. I mean, James Brown had a great band too, and Jerry had a great band. We were lucky. We got to experience that genius of American music in Jerry. Now we get to sing his songs. Everybody gets to sing his songs. I was honored to be there and pay tribute to this incredible musician who I was lucky to see play many, many times. But other than that, it's pretty much just nostalgia. Sorry, but it is. That's an interesting take.
It is, especially because this article being over a year old and Trey just played on stage at Dead 60 10 years later. So I wonder if he feels the same as when he said that here, but who knows?
Let me. Sorry, I know we're getting in the weeds here, but let me just. I wasn't able to look at a single comment, so let me just read a couple comments.
Oh, great. We'll pause where we're at in Jerry's life.
I've known. Let's see. I've known new middle-aged couples who were platonic friends for 20 years. I mean, I don't know.
40 is cheering us on, Bri.
Okay, you never know. I mean, maybe
Life
so.
is long. Life is long. We'll keep you posted.
It would be nice to like just share a lot of context with somebody, like all of it, like all the context.
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
Like there's no gray area. You know, you can talk about the Beatles and you know exactly that little lyric that you were mentioned at the end of Cry Baby Cry. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I know it's, how's it go again? One more time. It was so nice to hear.
Can you take me back where I belong? Can you take me back? Can you take me back where I belong? Honey, can you take me back? Ooh.
And play little songs.
Can you take me back?
There's a line from High Fidelity, the movie High Fidelity, which has become sort of like I read an article about it from 2018 yesterday that was saying about how like Rob Gordon, the protagonist in the film, is like the ultimate sleazeball. And that we've glorified this character in this movie who like this whole generation of record loving slackers who are narcissistic sociopaths who bed women who are out of their league and don't care about anybody. And like he just gave.
Are you talking about the John Cusack character?
Yeah. And how he has no remorse, and even when he rattles off a litany of examples that are all about how I was so happy to find out that my ex-girlfriend didn't sleep with the guy I thought she was, that I went out immediately and slept with so-and-so and so-and-so. And then the audience is cheering this behavior on, right? And
I think you remember the movie more than I do, but
oh no, I definitely do. But there's a scene in there where he says like I want to date a musician. And he says, another one says like, I want to live with a musician. Yeah. And she'd write little songs about me and I'd play songs to her and she'd put me in the liner notes and just in a little corner and nobody would know what it would be. And they have this little moment where they're like, fantasizing about what it would be like to marry a musician. And I used to think like, Danny and Stace or pick anybody, I mean,
I'm in some liner notes.
I know, but like just the idea of like waking up and playing music with somebody, like just, riffing around with somebody. And I'm not talking about like writing songs and like getting one person getting acclaim and the other person not. I'm just talking about like waking up and just like humming a little melody. That's nice. Did you have that? You must have had that before many times.
I enjoyed that Chris and I could play music together and sort of deedle about. That was nice. But his timing wasn't ideal and that would annoy me. So
Oh,
There's that.
my time is horrible as well.
I know. It would never work out between us, right? Wait, hold on. 4D called you out for some kind of
So I
parapraxis.
skipped over this comment that I've known Middle Ages. So he was saying that this was a, let's see, it's also significant which chat line Bri just skipped. Is that what he said? Oh wait, there you have it. Adam and Eve 101. I think he's referring to, I don't know. Sorry 4D, I fucked up your whole comment here, but
Well,
oh, maybe it's
parapraxis.
this one. Did we
Oh.
read this one?
Bryant is more dependent here than Andrea because though Andrea equals more open to cross that line, like most women, she's also more grounded, fatalistic, mature than, next comment, the existentially wobbly male. Huh. Fatalistic. I feel like there's some context we might be missing because we went
No,
rattling.
I'm following. It's just interesting.
Yeah, tell me what I feel like I'm missing a little
Well, he's
something.
just saying that I'm the fatalistic existential one. Hold on. In a paradoxical sense, I'm more dependent here when really I'm the sort of loose cannon here, right?
Oh, okay.
And you're have a master's and teach thing and have a career, and but you're also, she's more grounded, fatalistic, mature than, yeah. I'm not sure actually.
I don't know. I love a poop joke,
I
and I
think we're
always
both,
say the cuckoo
yeah,
things.
right. And I
But
feel like,
you have that Virgo, like,
yeah, we have
I mean, you should
heads
see
and tails of
Brian's
the.
doc for this show and how he gets mad at me for not being able to set a schedule and
I'm not, yeah, but I think, yeah, there's a puzzle, and or a checkerboard, and
yeah, yeah.
half of the board I'm the blacks, and half of the board you're the blacks, and half of the board I'm the whites, and half of the board you're the whites, something
But
like
we're
that.
really playing on the red squares, not the black ones, or
There you
something
go.
like something
Okay,
weird.
sorry I botched your train of thought here. So that was that.
Okay.
And then it's also significant which chat line Brian just skipped. That's called parapraxis. So parapraxis, I always forget this word. He's
It's
trying to.
a Freudian slip, a mistaken speech, memory, or action that is believed to reveal a hidden or unconscious thought or wish.
Okay.
Like you with the glass.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Okay, okay.
The fishbowl. You're a
Yes.
wild animal is a great song lyric. Someone by Andrea Leather. Oh my goodness.
Wait,
4D,
hold on. You're
behave
not.
yourself.
No,
I
I
know.
want to see it. I want to see it.
Okay. All right.
Oh, what did you think? I don't have a leather catsuit already?
Can we
Jesus,
not go
bro.
there, really?
No, I don't. But it have to be really nice.
Okay.
Internet Surfer 3000. Never seen this person before.
Hi, Internet Surfer 3000. You're probably long gone. Sorry we never got to your comment. Mr. Tokyo Records, thank you for your videos, passion, enthusiasm. Nice, dude. Appreciate it. Just watched a video of when you visited El Sur Records. Cool, man. Yeah, that was a fun visit. Those guys were hip.
Is that a spot in Tokyo?
Yeah,
Also,
it's a cool record store. Cool record
neat.
store. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, we gotta get you here
I
once.
know.
We
I'm
gotta get
dying
you
to
here.
come to
You should
Japan.
come.
I
Yeah.
will. I will.
Okay, so we just heard about
Anything
Trey's
else,
talking
or
about.
that's all our
Yeah,
commies?
that's all our comments. Yeah, there
Okay.
wasn't so many.
All right.
Uh,
All right.
so
The
at the end of
end. I'll read to you. You read.
okay,
The end of Jerry's life was very sad. He was on this giant merry-go-round and he couldn't get off. Do you empathize with some of the burdens he faced?
I do. This is gonna sound funny, but Chapel Rowan just said something on stage like, "This is everything I always wanted, but why am I so unhappy?" Thank God she's saying that and not holding it in. What she's going through always happens. Just think of Amy Winehouse. When the train leaves the station, there's so much to be gained from so many people around you. And everybody has an agenda. And most people with this job are people pleasers, or they wouldn't be good entertainers.
Mm.
When you're an entertainer, you go out on stage and you desperately want the audience to have a good time. And you spend hundreds and thousands of hours trying to get to that point. Whether you're a Broadway actor or Chapel Rowan or Amy Winehouse or anybody, you want it to be good. So you pour everything you can into it. You take it. You take us out here.
Sure. But then by definition, people in your orbit have something to gain by being attached to that. And they're not bad people. They just suddenly they have something to gain. So maybe you're in the entourage and you get to stay at the Four Seasons. Or maybe you've always wanted this, but it was never going to happen for yourself. But by attaching yourself to it, you get your backstage pass and there's people cheering and you get to go to the party. And it gets very hard to say no to people. And then there's more and more and more and more and more people that you can't say no to. You start agreeing to do stuff that you didn't want to do. It's a tsunami. I think for a young musician, it takes a minute to identify what's actually going on. Like, why do I all of a sudden have 750 best friends when 2 months ago, before I was famous, I had one best friend? And the interviewer asked, and those people truly don't care about your well-being.
The worst case scenarios, it can be your own family. If it's Justin Bieber or Britney Spears, the stuff starts rolling and your own dad can turn on you. Ooh.
I
This
know.
happens all the
Ow.
time, right? And it's all a hippy dippy peace and love, happy dancing bears. But I wish Jerry Garcia was still alive. Personally, I wish everybody had just stopped and left him alone and let him get his shit together, so I could still hear him play and sing those songs and play the guitar like he used to, which is better than anybody ever.
What do you understand about drugs now that you didn't get in your 20s or 30s?
That they suck, laughs, and I guess that you don't ever see it happening when it's happening, especially hard drugs. But alcohol, which is probably the hardest of them all, which is the hardest of all of them in a weird way. But alcohol, which is probably the hardest of all of them in a weird way. What is he saying here? Probably.
It must have been like,
I got it. Okay, nothing will do you like a big fat giant bottle of vodka. But I think the craziest thing is to end up in a situation like I did, having spent my entire life saying I would never do that, going through the 80s in a band and most of the 90s, just completely avoiding it. And then all of a sudden it creeps up on you. You don't even really see it happening. Something somebody said when I started cleaning up my act 17 and a half years ago. Good job, Trey. 18 years now, I guess.
Yeah.
One of the first counselors that I ever worked with, he said, "What's your drug of choice?" And I said, "Heroin / painkillers." And he said, "Well, you were probably in pain. People who take that shit usually are in pain. Why would you do that to yourself unless you were just trying to turn everything off for a minute?" Yeah, you were probably in pain. Yeah, he was probably in pain. I imagine, like Jerry, with an entourage of hundreds, I guess, at least 100 people,
or more, hundreds.
Right? That's gotta be an incredible weight on your shoulders when you know that, like, if you're not touring every single, you don't need to fucking tour. You got millions in the bank.
But everybody else needs to pay their bills.
Everybody else needs a paycheck, right?
Yeah.
And you got to just go out there and that's got to be rough. That's got to be a real big burden. So then the interviewer asks here, I'm sorry to keep calling him the interviewer. He has a name, and I don't have it. But
if we scroll all the way up, we'll lose our place.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
We'll give him credit at the end.
Let's see. He says here to Andrea, he says here today, is it weird as a sober guy to look at a crowd of people where a good portion of them are on drugs?
No, actually. And I'm also in a band with one sober guy, me. I look at it like some of my friends are vegan and some of them eat meat. I'm not here to sit in judgment and say one life choice is better than another. There's a million life choices. I had some great experiences when I was young on psychedelic drugs and stuff like that before it all went to hell. I certainly don't have any judgment about anything except for myself. I'm very judgmental of myself. But what I can add to the conversation is that there's a way out. I think if you're having a problem, you know it. And if you have a friend who's having a problem, you know it. We've all had either a problem ourselves or known someone who has. And you know it when you see it. When I go out to dinner with my parents or with my children who are 27 and 29 and my dad, they have a cocktail. I don't. They don't have a problem. So I'm not blaming the cocktail, but I can't have a cocktail. And I love not having a cocktail. I don't even think about it anymore. Like I said, the only thing that I can add to the conversation is that there's a solution and it's a really good one.
I just relate to him on so many levels. Trey is the reason I'm sober, and it's like the greatest thing ever for me. It's like the greatest gift that I ever gave myself besides my kids. Like, it is the best present, better than any little gizmo or motorcycle or some collector thing.
When
It's like,
did you get sober? I don't even really know that story.
it just happened. It was like like Trey describes getting fucked up. It just kind of was like, there was a moment where it was like, oh God, I'm okay. It was like, it was one of those moments where you're just like, oh, bender. That was the annual bender. Okay. Not going back to that.
Like you lived in Japan. You were.
Yeah. It's been
When
like
is
eight
this?
years, maybe
Oh,
8 years
wow.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've lost track, actually. I don't even know. I think it was like 8 years ago. Maybe it was 7, maybe it was 9. I'm not even sure. 8 sounds about right.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, we don't need to get into it, but I just watched those Trey videos over and over and over, and reading things like this that just, it like, he has his head around this so well, and should be like a very loud and outside. I mean, he is, but he should be he's so articulate about talking about his sobriety and about how it's not a big deal, and about how service is a tenet of sobriety, and about how, like, the Between Me and My Mind talks about like an aging rock star. This is one of the best stories of the most gracefully aging rock stars. And I just think about like Trey, like, gracefully going through like adult life. I'm not even talking about rock star life. I'm just talking about, like, paying bills, eating healthy, and, keeping just a clear mind, just trying to stay alive, like avoiding the fate that poor Jerry didn't,
Yeah.
And so I get a huge inspiration from Trey. My dad said, like, he didn't drink for a lot of years, and then he never drank. I never knew him to be a drinker. And then I realized at one point, I was like, Dad, you don't drink? And he's like, no. I'm like, I don't drink. I'm like, since when? He's like, since forever. I was like, really? I didn't even notice, and he was like, yeah. And then I saw him at my sister's wedding, and he's having a glass of wine, and I'm like, what are you doing? You've like broken your sobriety. And he's like, no. I was never like, it wasn't ever about like demons. It was about like, I had entirely too much on my plate, and it was a pragmatic choice. And like, now that I got my last kid married, and I'm like, I did it.
Time to have a cheers.
Yeah, time to have a cheers. And I'm like, that's a good policy.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's my thing on it. But again, like, I like Trey's sort of pragmatic approach. My kids have drinks. I don't care about it. There's a million life choices that everyone has to make for themselves. This is one that I have to make for myself. You have to make your choices for yourself. And my choice in that aspect really aligns with his. And if I didn't have like an outspoken voice like his, I don't know if I would have been able to commit to this like I have been. So I feel like I owe it to him, and I think I speak for a lot of people. And I mean, I'm not an angel when it comes to like, being backstage, or, I had my run. We managed
making choices.
Yeah, making choices.
Brian has chosen some choices. We know.
Yeah, and
I know.
Yeah, and I'm not afraid to like, I was never afraid to like go to the very, 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 very edge. I'm not outspoken about it, but I had my experiences, and I not sure if when Trey says, what have you learned about drugs, that they suck? Actually, he laughs, and they suck for him. I mean, they sucked a lot of things out of me. They like literally, they sucked. And he says, like, I wouldn't trade my psychedelic experiences for anything. And, I don't regret them, but anyway, This is like a big inspiration for me. I like to talk about it. And I think a few of us out there in Fishland, like we really, really admire this aspect of Trey.
I think it's more than a few people. I think that Trey's sobriety, it continues to have, and I feel like maybe even more over the last handful of years, and I think more and more into the future. I think his sobriety has just had a wonderful ripple effect in the community of people around folks feeling like they can choose, that they can make a choice. You can choose to be sober. You can choose to take your psychedelics, and whatever that choice is going to be is a choice you're making. It's like maybe at one point it felt like you couldn't be at Phish as a young person without the choice of psychedelics or beers or whatever. And it's kind of like the fact that Trey has chosen a choice, I think gives permission and efficacy for people to realize that they're even choosing a choice, whether that's sobriety or even to party, whatever that means. There's just a sort of more conscientiousness about the fact that you have a choice. A person at a show has any given number of choices, and I've said it before in our conversations. It doesn't feel like a big deal, or that there's judgment whether
That's
you
the one.
are or you are not sober, and
That's the big
I kind of
one.
love that. I love that.
Me too.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it's the judgment aspect that, or you know, the, what am I trying to say? Not the inability to judge, but like the aversion to judgment is what is rippling out. It's the choice. It's like everybody's free to make their own choices, but
Yeah.
it's more about everybody's free to make their own choices, and nobody needs to be judged for their choices. And that
No,
level of
I
like
agree.
permission is the somehow the secret ticket, or
Yeah.
the secret password to like create the vibe that we got here, that where people are like, oh, actually maybe I will be a little bit more mindful about it, and maybe
Yes.
I just don't have to follow the crowd, and I can choose, I can have those things when I'm not. I think you put it really well when you said, there's there's a little corner of the room for everybody, or whatever it was that you said.
Yeah, I
Everybody.
really do think that's true. When I was in New York, I was with a friend who's sober, and he had just
There's
as
space
much
for everybody.
fun
Yeah,
than
exactly.
as anybody else who was tripping balls. And I'm sure he was very happy that the next day he was not hungover, and that he could remember his experience, and that he had enough energy to keep on dancing. And then he went to SPAC and kept on dancing there too. I mean, different strokes for different folks seems more and more appropriate and important as we age.
Although there is something about the nitrous mafia, right? That one doesn't exactly quite sit quite well with me. I don't really.
No, it doesn't sit well with anybody.
Then why? Yeah, they need to figure that one out.
But who is they?
Yeah, right. I mean, Bobby always says like, you gonna tell him to go stop taping? I dare you. Go ahead. Go try to tell him
Yeah,
to stop
yeah.
taping. I get it, but I mean, these guys aren't part of the Phish thing, you know?
No, it's this is like the 750 hanger honors.
Right.
400 of those are the nitrous mafia, and they're there for the money. They're not there for music.
Right. And they're
They're
not.
no, they're there to make a buck on their drugs, and they make a lot of bucks. And it's unattractive, it's dirty, it's polluting, it is dangerous, and it's illegal, which is not to say that I haven't found it to be very fun on a number of occasions, but it is a highly unattractive facet of the Phish world, especially as we all get older, if
And
you
it's
ask
like
me.
nowhere else, right? Does any other band have nitrous oxide
Oh
outside of their
yes.
concert?
Oh
Really?
yes. Oh yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, like the Grateful
Who?
Dead, like the Grateful Dead world has
Okay,
it all
besides the
over.
Dead, is it the Dead? And is it the Dead? It's like a
Yeah,
hit.
it's probably J-Rad too. It's a certain type of band. It's going to be your Humphreys McGee, your Mo,
Okay.
your probably Goose has a huge nitrous scene, if I had to guess. It's a cultural thing
But
more than a
you,
band
yeah,
thing.
okay. Anyway, who asks the question? I forgot where we
I'll
are.
ask you the question.
Okay.
In 2003, you told Rolling Stone that you hope Phish plays at least one show when you guys are in your 80s. Do you still hope that?
That's 20 years from now. Okay. Now I hope it's 90s.
That's right. Sweet.
I want to do a Willie Nelson. He just says I want to do a Willie. we don't need the Nelson. We all know it's
Yeah.
Willie. And the reason is coming clearer and more into focus because I want John and Mike and Paige to be healthy because I love them. Oh God, I don't know if I can read this. And I want us to take care of ourselves. Statistically, things happen. And someday someone I don't think
And
I can go.
someday,
Uh,
someone,
You go.
something will.
I can't.
When you've got four men who spend 4 or 5 decades together, it just has to, right? So now it's like we stand on the side of the stage every night and look at each other and we're like, we're so grateful that we get to do this for one more night. It becomes more and more tangible. It's like a ritual now. We stand in a circle and we're like, everybody's healthy today. We get to do this again. Everybody's in the room. We're all here. Everybody's here. We get one more day together. And that's why, gosh, yes, I would like to play in our 90s.
I can't. It's so touching. You got to take us out here. What should the final song? Oh my God! I love it. It's like tweezer reprise. It's like we've forgotten. This is where we're going. Right?
Okay, yeah, that's right. That's right. Here's the big punchline and where we started. Okay.
What should be the final song at the final Phish concert? What should the final song be at the final Phish concert?
This is gonna fuck people up because some people don't like the vocal jam. But Trey thinks that the final Phish show at the final concert, I would say probably You Enjoy Myself with the vocal jam. That's got to be the last song to this day. I don't know exactly why it works, but it works. It was on our first record and it puts us outside the mainstream. Nobody knew what to make of us. I remember when I brought in all these charts to band practice and it's like all atonal composition in there. Fugue. And I remember handing it to Paige and he was like, I can't wait to play this. He loved it. And then we added all the other weird stuff and it still puts a smile on my face whenever we play it because it brings me back to those years. It would be a perfect song to end with.
It's pretty sweet. If you don't know, you enjoy myself.
That's how it's gonna end. It's gonna end with the pop.
It could. It's a good call. You Enjoy Myself is, Phish's magnum opus. It is their swan. It is their probably most genius work, arguably. And Trey wrote it when he was like 19 years old, and it's so good. And it's almost like a great place to go start. It has lyrics, very few, and but it's
they're sort of half an Italian.
They're half an Italian, yeah. And there is an interesting sort of mind fuck in it too. And I want to ask you about You Enjoy Myself. We should have a whole podcast.
Well,
dedicated
I
to
just want to say one thing before you ask another question. We just entered 2 hours and 56 minutes.
Let's end it there.
I've got about 7% left on my phone. Do we have any
there.
more comments to get through,
No,
Brian?
no,
it's just
done.
the two of us.
It's
we
just
can make
the
it.
two of us, you and I.
We can make it if we try.
It's the two of us.
Right, let's stay friends forever, shall we?
Let's do it. I agree. It's a good idea. Let's definitely be friends forever. Into our 90s.
Yeah.
Into our 90s.
And let's get you back to
Willie.
a real Phish show at some point.
Yeah.
And I will come to Japan and we'll go to more real Phish shows.
Okay, so you said this was like we winged it again. I want to get less into winging it, although winging it does work. And the tango escapade that we went on was really fun. But
and the fact that it came back as a metaphor later in a punchline was pretty great too.
And 4D with the glass fishbowl was
my god, thank you 4D.
Yeah.
I missed you and I'm glad you're back. I like when you share the things you're thinking.
4D, keep the leather leather. It's belongs on the bus, okay? Like it doesn't
That's
belong.
true, but it doesn't offend me, and I will never wear a leather catsuit
Yeah,
on this
but I
podcast.
have to
You
like
feel uncomfortable, I
I
know.
have to sign off on his thing, and you're like a rep for you are. Don't
I'm
make me look bad, 4D.
sorry. Oh,
So
Gordy, I thought you meant me. Don't let me make
no,
you look
don't let
bad.
me don't. Yeah, that's it's
Let's
anyway.
all stay safe, consensual, and respectful in this podcast.
Um, and let's also. You said now that you're back in school and the students are back. Are they back yet? They're back. They're almost back.
No, they're back. It's fucking on. I had a whole week of real school. My son has
They're
gone back to college. I'm back to being on my own. I'm back to music. I just got my uke fixed. I got a gig next weekend. It's like madness, and we're
And so,
back.
but you said that like we may in the next some time we're gonna get on a semi. We might be able to work something
I
out.
would really love that. I got to get to well, we've got Labor Day, and then I go to witch camp. So I think
Okay,
after
well then
witch
let's
camp,
just forget about it and we'll just keep doing what we're doing. It's fine. But yeah, I
we'll
do want
get
to.
there.
We'll
We'll
get
get
there.
there.
Slow and strong and wrong.
Strong and wrong, Bry. It can
Strong
be
and-
improvisatory, just like tango.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Lots of love,
All
man. Give
right.
my
Great
best
to
to all the
see you.
crew. Yeah, good to
Mwah.
see you too.
Will
Bye,
do.
everybody. Thanks for being here.
Bye,
Like and
friends.
subscribe and all that stuff, and we'll see you
See
maybe
you
next
next
week.
time.
Okay. Bye, everybody. See ya.
Ciao.